certain is that today is definitely some must-win situations for some teams. And first up is Alliance versus Luminosity as
Yep.
our match.
So Alliance came in here to Trinity Series really struggling. Their first couple of weeks were, to say the least, like, it was kind of an abysmal performance. They went 0-6 against G2's Paladin deck, which has sort of become a joke amongst the groups of players where they just lose to Paladin, get swept by it. Paladin hasn't since replicated that, but it's one of those things where it definitely impacted the team morale a lot. But then they picked up in recent times, getting a 6-0 themselves, Powder being able to land that on this Warlock. And then on the other side of things, you have Luminosity, which has just had a week of really good games, and a week it felt like they were dominating, and then a couple of weeks of close games as well. So now is the time for either of these teams to start separating from the pack, and they have a good opportunity to do it by getting the series win.
Yeah, definitely. And let's go ahead and take a look at the format for the actual matches that are going to take place. Both teams have submitted 9 unique decks, one for each of the 9 classes in Hearthstone. And yes, there's 9, not 7. Before the match happens, the picks and bans phase occurs, which means teams ban 2 of the opposing team's decks, and then at the remaining 7, choose 6 to play, effectively excluding 1 deck or self-banning 1 deck. They'll then play in a best-of-11 match using the last hero standing format, which means that the winning deck for each individual game will be automatically queued up for that team for the next game, and the losing deck is eliminated from play for the remainder of the match.
All right, so let's take a look at the bans of what these teams are choosing. Rogue, Shaman, and Warrior have been very popular. Be very surprised to see any other class until the patch hits. And it looks like we do have the first bans in, Rogue and Shaman, and Warrior. So there you go. It looks like those 3 classes are the problematic ones. Warrior being targeted twice over and leaving Rogue open for Alliance, leaving Shaman up for Luminosity. What do you think, DJ?
Yeah, Warrior has been the most popular ban. It has the most total bans, I believe. Luminosity players have left Shaman up against Luminosity for many weeks, and they haven't had much success with it. But who knows if that's, the actual case is that they can't find success with Shaman, or if, oh, whoa. Scratch that.
Oh, banning Priest. I like it. Luminosity sticking to Hunter. And we have a couple of Hunter experts on that team. You have Chalky, one of the first people to really push Face Hunter as a real deck. And then you have Zalay, who's been playing only Hunter this season on his stream in an attempt to hit Legend. Definitely a fun climb if you love to see masochism live on a Twitch stream.
Yeah, it can get pretty brutal at times, but one thing's for certain, today should be an interesting day. But there you go. The Osaka Orange and Powder piloting the decks that are underneath their portraits. But even though, keep in mind that even they're piloting the decks, they're working as a team to come up with the plays, strategies, all that kind of stuff, communicating every step of the way.
Yep. Every team is allowed to discuss the plays in full length. They'll always be on a call. We'll just have different players have different deck that they have to pilot, which means sometimes they don't come to a consensus. They're a 2-1 split, or maybe it's 1-1 split and one person's neutral, and then the person piloting has to just make a decision. So that's what ends up being really key, for better or for worse, on some of these players. Interesting to note that the Hunter is going on Zalay, so looks like he is going to be one of the key players, I would say. I definitely think that the self-ban is what ends up being a lot of times a big game changer in the series, because you bring your 5th or 6th decks as sniping decks. They're not exactly the best for sweeping, but they have the opportunity to really win a one-sided matchup if you prepare the deck accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And yesterday we saw Tempo Storm have a lot of success with not these exact same classes. They self-banned their Paladin instead of the Priest. But Shaman and Hunter did do a lot of work. Hunter being crucial in their victory over Paladin, which was, that control deck that can sometimes be hard to reach as you get later on in the game. But game number 1, it's going to be Mage versus Druid, Tempo Mage for Luminosity, as we've come to expect from them in the past few weeks, and a Jade Druid for Alliance. These teams have sort of had opposite paths through the Legendary Series so far. Luminosity got off to an explosive 2-0 start where they looked, quite unstoppable with some of their wins. And Alliance, again, opposite end of the spectrum, where they had a really rough first couple weeks, as you talked about earlier.
Yep, and none harder than Orange, who even tweeted at us saying, please don't show my statistics on stream because I feel like I have been underperforming.
Yeah.
It's all relative, though, because we know that it's a shared burden, and it comes down to more comfort level than anything else. Looking like a little bit reminiscent of that, what a Tempo Mage should be doing up against the Druid. Yesterday, we saw Tempo Storm go up against their opponents. It was Druid up against Tempo Mage, and it just felt like the Druid got to a much more explosive start than what Complexity was able to muster together. Yeah.
And oftentimes, even if you do get to a pretty good start, Tempo Mage can burn you out of the game as the Druid if one threat goes unanswered. But we'll definitely have to see how Alliance is going to be able to tackle this. Right now, they have no play. Mulch on a 3-2 is not something I think they can afford, considering that they know Luminosity has so many big threats just packed into the deck. We can see 2 already in the hand with Archmage Antonidas and Ragnaros. But let's go and listen into Luminosity and see how they feel about this Mulch on the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
This is all I know. we just played this naked.
Yeah, think about it a bit. Okay. I just want to bluff that our hand isn't 4 9 rocks.
Spirit is better than Fandral, right? I mean, Fandral is more stats, but
what to do?
We're always going 4 into Asher Drake into 6 if we don't top deck something. I don't even know what we can top deck, right?
Did I have the coin?
But I mean, it seems weird that we're gonna hero power next turn.
What to do?
Pretty unlikely. Probably Jade Spirit, right?
I think if we play Fandral, we force them to be reactive instead of getting to advance their board next turn.
Yeah, that's like the only thing.
I still think I like Jade Spirit.
Goes the Jade one. It's not.
I like Jade Spirit. What about you, Kaka?
Yeah, Jade Spirit.
Alright, we play the Barons and coin.
Yeah.
Barons first, maybe we can get little girl.
We can get girl, we can get Flamemaker. Oh.
So, okay.
Right, coin missiles.
We're still coin missing. Yeah. Right?
So next turn, well, yeah.
Got him.
I mean, we know they don't have
get
swipe.
frozen.
Like, we really want to force them to hero power this, and then we just have Drake on curve, and then we just have a nut curve.
Oh my god.
Holy moly, Luminosity off to an incredible start. Forcing the Mulch on the 3-2, and then getting Jiraxis from the Mulch. Not that it matters. I don't even know if they'll have time to play it this game since they already have Archmage and Ragnaros in their hand. This is just a brutal start for Alliance.
Yeah, this is kind of what Tempo Mage wants to do. Now, granted, it wasn't exactly the intended path. I don't think they were looking for Mulch when they played Sorcerer's Apprentice. They just kind of wanted to grab early board.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But Druids had such a heavy-handed curve here that it just feels like they can't really do much else. Although, Luminosity doesn't exactly have the spells to back up this Flamewaker at the moment. And maybe there's a way Alliance can bring it back because of that. I find it unlikely, though. Oh. Arcane Blast, you have Firelance Portal next turn, so it feels like you can get away with using that and protecting the health on all of your minions, because protecting things like Barnes and your Flamewaker from getting damaged is pretty meaningful leading up into the next few turns, because you're going to curve into Firelance Portal and Ragnaros.
And then Jiraxis.
It is a cheap spell, though, for Antonidas, so that's probably the merit worth keeping.
Yeah. But you do get to push 4 more damage effectively this turn, since 2 from the Flamewaker and then the 2 actual missiles from the Flamewaker. So, in a sense, that's almost a fireball anyway. But it looks like they are going to just go ahead and make the trade on the Barnes because Flamewaker more important at this stage than the one extra attack.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe they can save Firelance Portal, and if they pick up a Fireball, so they can combine both forces into one.
Yeah.
If a couple of huge targets come down, Innervate always gives Druid the possibility of scaling very hard into the late game and rushing out some threats that you need to deal with immediately.
Yeah, I do want to point out that I like Alliance's strategy here to open with the Druid, because Druid is without a Reno Mage in Luminosity's lineup, or they can assume Druid is probably one of the weaker decks that Alliance has. And so just sort of using it, as maybe a little bit of a scouting tool, maybe you can like steal a win against, say, Murloc Paladin, then they would be in a really good spot moving forward, because that's a deck that is sort of a weak link in the lineup compared to what Luminosity normally brings.
All right, well, let's tune in with Luminosity and see how they're planning to cement their lead here.
Worrisome.
All right, well, Portal looks pretty good, right?
We bumped the 3/2 into the Aya and then Portal the 5.
Do we do that? Are we thrilled about giving him an extra dude? Like, we could just leave him with just the Aya on board, right? That's the other option.
I wonder.
And trade the 3/2 into the 3/3 and then Portal the...
Well,
he's gonna have one dude on board either way. So
is he? No, then we have to trade an extra one. I say we leave Aya up. I say we leave Aya up.
So we trade here.
Yeah.
That was bad ordering, I guess. Actually, no, it wasn't bad ordering.
No, that was fine.
One.
We get a 5/5 from Aya. I mean, we can kind of put them on not having any cheap spells, right? Or at least discounted cheap spells. So he would have done it so that the Aya died, right?
they already floated 1 mana on the Azure deck turn, right?
Yeah. So it seems pretty likely that they don't have any cheap spells.
So would you kill the Azure over the Flamewaker?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, is it worth to kill the Asher over the Flamewaker? It probably is, right?
Yeah, I think killing Asher.
I mean, it's like Flamewaker is like 2 spell per Azure second. So are we playing the Wreck or Behemoth?
No, no.
I'm leaning towards Behemoth.
Okay, Behemoth here, part of his.
Yeah.
They didn't Asher.
Azure.
Asher.
And the Flamewaker is buffed as well. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Flamewaker lives.
Mm-hmm.
How about Mana Worm, Fireball, Blast? Actually, we don't play the Mana Worm. See where the missiles go. We might need to ping, right? Want to try to ping and then take the value trade onto the 3/6? Or do we want to go bump?
I think we can Mana Worm, right? I think we want to Mana Worm. We want to buff our dude up.
What do you think about bump rag? It's too easy to clear, huh? Just a swipe.
It's likely has another mulch, but that's
No, make a play.
kind of like Rag as well now. When I think about it.
What to do? What to do?
even though it's like.
Yeah, you know, you look at the Ragnaros and it just needed to land on something. Even if it landed face, I don't think that'd be the worst case scenario, because then maybe you could burn your opponent down.
Yeah, with a Fireball already in hand and Archmage Tinnitus to back it up. Frozen pivoted very quickly there. You know, he had the play for Mana Worm, Fireball, Arcane Blast, and then Slay's like, bump, rag. And Frozen's like, yes. That sounds good.
Yeah, you know, I wonder if Alliance here, they want to draw a card or they want to play their own Ragnaros. Rag Wars are always a little bit scary. What makes it even worse is, you know, things like the Nubasoth Sentinel, if it lands on, you know, Ragnaros, that means it's going to be invulnerable to another Ragnaros shot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like weird interactions going on here depending on how their rag goes, which makes me less confident in playing it, but what else are you going to do? It's like they're favoring going wide on the board instead.
Yeah. They're actually just going to go ahead and clear off the Sentinel here purposefully.
Yeah.
Because they realize that they're probably not going to be able to ever be able to reach that rag unless they just brute force it with minions. So that's an 11-11.
Yeah, that rag could be 100-100. It'd still do 8 damage every single turn.
Yeah.
Really impossible for a rag to attack with it unless you silence, but then you lose the buffs.
Mm-hmm. So Luminosity now has...
Well, they have a 1 in 4 chance to win the game.
Yeah, but if they go for that and fail, then they might be in a pretty rough spot because their only board at that stage would be a rag, which they can't really control, and a Mana Worm, which isn't that big. So it looks like they're just going to clear off some of these weaker minions and, you know, hope that rag lands once again onto the 7/7. And it does.
And rag shooting itself. Another Jade card being picked up by Alliance, but they can't fit in both Azure Drakes and the Jade Behemoth. One of the unfortunate things about the state of their hand.
And if they go with Azure Drake and don't pick up any other threats, then their board is going to be much weaker than had they gone with the Jade Behemoth. Let's go ahead and listen into Alliance and hear what they think about this turn.
Good draws.
I think the Behemoth just loses to everything, right? Like he just kills the 3/6 with any spell, and then he has 50-50 to like probably either set up lethal or...
The Drake gives us a lot of good draws. I'm gonna Drake.
Yep.
I want to Drake again. Kind of risky. But
it's not really that bad with the... Like, it's not really removing less because they have a rag on the board.
Yeah, so
it's way more mana efficient, yeah.
Not have one of those games.
I don't want to talk about it.
We outplayed them is what happened.
So
we could take a 1 in 3.
We could bolt face, go face, ping face. No, that's not good.
No. You can. You don't have to ping. You could go. You could go bolt face and then play a big dude and go face and 1 in 3.
Yeah, okay.
I like that the best.
Face seems.
Is Emperor the best? Like, isn't a 5/7 that gives us a fireball just way better?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking Antonitis. I just said the wrong name.
Okay.
What about Antonitis, Bolt, the Drake, and trade?
No. Bolt face. Bolt face and just go face.
Worst case is 1 Drake.
Best
case is dead.
Don't trade. Don't trade.
Why not? It's literally the same thing.
Because
we have lethal next turn. I don't think it matters this turn.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Just do 1 of the 2.
Rag in the middle, hell yeah. Carry commander.
One of those turns where the worst thing that can happen is we just panic and do nothing.
Yeah. Hey!
Trusted him, dude.
Alright, we won game 1. Go team! We don't have to figure out how to win from behind right now.
Wow.
Yeah, job well done by Luminosity. Seems like they're relatively high spirits, but you know, I think they felt like Rag carried them. You could just hear Zlay say, like, you know, lead us home, Commander. I would definitely serve under Ragnaros if he was the commander of my ship. Although he does
if he was
seem like a loose cannon.
Yeah, if he was the commander of a ship, that ship would not exist. It would be a
Well,
bird.
let's assume that we're fireproof inside.
All right. Well, that's a pretty big assumption, but Luminosity off to a great start, actually. Temple Mage has done a lot of work for them. They have, more wins with the Temple Mage than they do with any other deck currently in their arsenal. So, Alliance, it seems to be a trend with them to have really rough starts in series. Think back to last week where they fell down 3-0 early on and were able to win 6 games in a row with Reno Warlock after that start, I believe against Virtus Pro. So, definitely Alliance is not a team to count out because they've shown resilience and they've shown that tenacity over the first 4 weeks that they know how to play when all the odds are stacked against them. So.
Yep. So it looks like going into game number 2, they're going to have to beat the Temple Mage, and they're choosing Priest to do that. Priest does have a lot of ways to remove those early game threats, and it has ways to get tempo of its own. I mean, Dragon Priest often is based on tempo itself, so except it does get on the board sometimes even faster.
Yeah, this is... We even saw last week when Luminosity played the Temple Mage that they lost to the Dragon Priest. And it seemed like they had... Whoa!
A Yogg Saron. Interesting. I haven't seen that in a Temple Mage in a while. But it makes sense. It was one of the 2 decks that primarily ran Yogg Saron. That and the Mali Ghost Druid. And then Control Warrior started running a little bit. And then you started realizing Yogg could go in literally anything.
And then it was put in just about everything that ran.
Any kind of 7 spells or more was kind of the sweet spot mark.
Yeah. Well, Alliance had a pretty rough start at the beginning, but now that they picked up Wyrmrest Agent, Wyrmrest Agent can almost single-handedly win this matchup alone if he gets buffed up enough. It's kind of crazy to think about, but it's impossible to deal with if you're the Temple Mage. You just don't have any spells to line up with it. You can Frostbolt ping, but that doesn't come until turn 4. If you Frostbolt it and try and ping over 2 turns, they just heal it up, and then you can't kill it again. Essentially, the only thing that matches up against it is like Spell Power plus Arcane Blast, but even then it doesn't come till turn 3. And, how likely is that, especially since a lot of these Temple Mage lists currently don't run the Cultist?
Yeah, well, you have to think really about what the game plan of what Mage really wants to do in this position here. And one of the things that makes Temple Mage so robust in the previous meta expansions is the fact that it can explode even if it doesn't. It can get back on the board by exploding through a series of card combinations that doesn't need an early game curve as badly as Dragon Priest. If Priest and Mage are equal and neither of them are really getting board control and they both have a decent amount of resources, Temple Mage is pretty favored.
Yeah.
Because it can Fireball with Sorcerer's Apprentice and get a Mana Worm out on the board all very cheaply. But cards like Azure Drake, cards like Blackwing Corruptor, they're never going to be cheaper than 5, really. So you have to be very much on time and on the curve with Dragon Priest, which is part of the frustration of playing the deck, but also what makes it so powerful. Because when you get that curve, it's nigh unstoppable.
Yeah. But this opening for Alliance, able to get this Wyrmrest Agent online, get it going, Shadow of Pain for the Flame Waker. But let's go and listen into Luminosity and see how they're planning on dealing with this.
As well.
We're not greedy. That's unlucky, is what that is.
That's a Stone Tusk Boar without charge, is what that is.
It's an Elven Archer without Battlecry.
I'm not a big fan of the Guardian.
Yeah, same.
I can't see any reason why we would.
Yeah, I like it too.
We just go face here, right?
Of course. Come on.
You had me worried there.
We're going into it's not that bad. Like, we're going into the 5/4 turn. So
no, but this is. I like this guy and this guy.
What I'm saying is Mana Worm's a lot worse into the Corruptor.
Yeah, but we have another guy that
he has a Corruptor anyways, because the Barnes.
Yeah.
Do I just pass or do I bump? I probably pass.
think we can reasonably pass, right? We don't want to give them a free trade. I don't want to give them a free trade if they have the 5/6 or an Azure Drake as their play.
Yeah, the yellow card, and we always kill the mana worm, right?
The yellow card to the left.
I wield the power of Black.
Well, Luminosity already starting to fall behind on board a little bit. I guess that's sort of how the matchup goes when the Dragon Priest gets a good start. But again, still high in spirits, as always, is Luminosity.
Yeah, when you have pro memers like Jackie on the team, you're never really allowed to not look at the world of Hearthstone through a cynical but edgy lens.
A lens of the peach-flavored Snapple-colored lens.
Is he still doing that?
He is, yeah. He is.
Well, Alliance has a pretty good assortment of things to do here. I mean, Bookworm obviously looks like the first obvious one where you can just put out the most stats while removing the 3/2. It is good insurance against other things, perhaps a second Flamewaker or something, but how often do you want to hold on to Bookworm versus play other stuff? Azure Drake and Twilight Whelp is also a viable thing too, but then you have to weaken your own Blackwing Corruptor. I kind of want to keep the strongest board possible. This is coming up on a Flame Strike turn though, so that's another reason why you probably don't necessarily want to just play Azure Drake and Twilight Whelp, unless you want to bait it out because then you feel more confident the following turns.
Yeah.
So this is a lot to debate on Alliance's side. Whatever you feel like the pros and cons are.
Yeah, and I think 1-drop, 5-drop, it looks like is what they're going to go with. Bookworm, you talked about how it's insurance for later on if they find themselves in a situation where their board is gone and they need to deal with the Flamewaker in a pinch, but we'll see if that Bookworm becomes a dead card because that can definitely happen.
Yeah, I mean, now that there's Firelance Portal too, that makes the Firelance Portal play a little bit awkward because there's a 5/1 on the other side. So they kind of ignore Flame Strike because most Temple Mages don't really run it these days. They usually have like 2 Firelance Portals, but if they do have it, it's usually a 1-of. And Firelance Portal is something that you do want to play around. So I definitely agree with it. More percentages. So in hindsight, job well done there by Alliance.
Yeah. Azure Drake of their own. Just ping off the 5/1. Had an option to go with Arcane Blast there to clear off, but they want to save that as a resource. But let's go and listen into Alliance, see what they're planning moving into these mid-game turns.
And we also have Brand and Netherspite in hand.
I don't think Brand Netherspite's that important.
No, I think I would
awkward.
rather. Okay, we don't have a dragon, which makes Nether. Oh, we're gonna get a dragon. I think we just got Netherspite Azure Drake.
I'd like it too.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we find Operative, we can play it, and
exactly.
we'll draw into Operative eventually. We can Brand with that.
There we go.
We take Operative over Deathwing here, right?
Yeah, we play it. Yeah, and we play it this turn.
We played 100%.
I think so. It's a 5/6.
Yeah, I like the body a lot more.
Yeah, the extra card, like drawing an extra card from our deck is kind of same thing as, it's fine.
Ooh. I guess Azure Drake. The other one's
Azure Drake. It's a bad one.
Yeah, sure.
Azure Drake's better. Country.
Ragnaros.
Yeah. Those are like the main things. Could just remove 2 things, just go Poly, ping, Frostbolt.
Could also go. I like to save the Poly in case he has Big Man.
In case he has Big Man, yeah.
I want to go. What about Torch, Bolt, Blast, Ping? Can we do that all?
You can do that all, yeah, but you give up your Infinitus spells.
No, that's fine. We get more from Iceland.
Yeah, we do. It seems fine to me. Like
that.
Fireland's Portal is gonna remove whatever he plays next turn.
Most likely, yeah. And we have a lot of spells left in our deck.
Alright, that's 5 spells. Count them. 5 spells.
Azure Drake, right? There's no other line.
It's the best board we can get. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind saving the Baron, but I have no other.
We don't need it, right? So use the left Asher Drake.
Yeah, like it's nice with Talon Priests, but it's fine.
Also, make them play reactive one more turn.
Yeah, they can.
5 spells, Dan. 5 spells towards the Yogg-Saron.
It's not really much going on there.
6 spells
but
now.
You only need 1 spell, really. Like, usually when you play Yogg-Saron, you're really looking for 1 spell. When you're looking for like a 2 or 3 specific spell. Yeah, Twisting Nether, Doom, Brawl, Flame Strike, some of these like really insane cards that have a lot of board impact. Sometimes you're looking for like damage to your opponent. Sometimes you're looking for, card draw or something. Yeah, exactly. Like resources.
More Yogs.
Realistically, what if Luminosity just feels like they don't have to play Yogg-Saron immediately? It depends on how big the board is. Like the bigger the opponent's board is, the worse Rag gets and the better Yogg does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the more spells that get played throughout this game, the better Yogg gets as well. So how long can they hold on for? They're not dead next turn, but maybe they have to Yogg. Maybe they do Yogg this turn.
Yeah, 6 spells, not really that much, but Alliance has also just outvalued them. They force removal every turn, have made it so that Luminosity doesn't have the ability to develop. But let's go and listen into Luminosity and see if they're planning on going for the Yogg.
Spell isn't that many.
I mean...
Acolyte, Ping, Poly, make it 7 next turn, but it doesn't seem that good.
It kind of buys us some time, right? Like, we only take 3 next turn.
We could also draw 1 mana spell this turn. Play it.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we don't want to Yogg. We're running out of time, right? So I guess we go with the alternative play.
But they discovered... they already played that dragon, I guess. We really don't want to Yogg?
Yeah, it's too late. I want to attack with my Call of the Wild.
Ooh, Fireball. Fireball is better, I think. On the 4/4?
Sure.
I like our chances this game.
We pain this? I guess we do, right? Just to not let them draw?
Why? I'm okay with letting them draw if I can just play like double operative this turn. Like, this, like, painting something relevant, say like a Flame Waker is more useful than just denying them a card. We're so far ahead that giving them 1 extra card to push the advantage with 2 bodies seems way more worth it.
Yeah, sure, double operative.
Secret agent coming
I kind of want to take sorcerers.
For what?
Like, probably Emperor is so much better though.
Emperor?
Yeah, Emperor. I don't think it matters, but yeah. You trade with an Acolyte at least.
I'll take Roaring Torch here.
Yeah.
One Iceland, so much for greatness.
Oh, this is a lot more spells if we hold on.
Yeah, we could probably hold 1 more turn, right? Get real greedy.
I like it.
All right.
Torch. Do we die to Rag though?
No. You Poly, Torch, Missiles. The only thing we're gonna die to is like double burn spell from our deck, and it'd have to be exactly Fireball plus Roaring Torch. I don't know. I guess that's kind of likely. They have 3 of our deck. Oh well. Like, it has to be those 2.
I mean, he's kind of half right.
He's close.
He's got a Roaring Torch to increase the burn potential, but still a little bit off because I see 8 from the hand. Yep. 8 plus the 5 is 13, so a little bit off from Alliance.
Yeah, so going to keep drawing cards. Again, that value is just absurd in Dragon Priest nowadays.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
reasonably load up the board, but their hand is mostly spells. So if these minions get cleared by Yoxeron, there's a chance for Luminosity after all.
Yeah, I want to hear what Luminosity is going to say when they play this Yogg. Let's tune in.
Hey, Rip.
Yeah.
Hallowed be thy name.
That's a good start.
Ah, yes, counterfeit coin. Just what we needed.
You hit the wrong team.
Domes it.
Isn't good enough.
Yeah, we got the bear trap down.
Managed to draw 0 cards.
All right, good stuff, guys.
I think what we needed was the Yogg to make more Yoggs.
Oh, true.
Good try, Yogg. Good try.
Well, Yoxeron almost got there.
Yeah. But, you know, a job well done there by Alliance. Really able to stick to the value plan. I like some of the ways they spaced their threats and made sure that they kind of paced themselves. It's really easy sometimes to overextend. Temple Mage just needs one turn. They need one turn, and all of a sudden, they're the ones in control of the board. So you have to be really cautious with extending onto it. So that way, when they play their entire, you know, big Firelands Portal turn, or they used to play the big Fireball turn in order to get them climb back, it's not that big of a swing. And, you know, Yoxeron did some stuff there, but all it did was essentially a 10-mana board clear. And damage yourself, which ended up putting them in range of death.
Don't forget about the bear trap, though, and give a bear trap. But, alas, Alliance takes the win with the Dragon Priest. So now it's up to Luminosity. See if they can find a deck that can beat it. Lots of decks in their arsenal that can do well against Dragon Priest. Notably, Reno Warlock is definitely the priority, or at least the main consideration for Luminosity here, most likely. So, can imagine we're going to see that. Hunter, probably not that good against Dragon Priest, because Dragon Priest gets on the board very quickly. And a lot of the other decks, probably not as well.
Yeah, so you're looking at the rest of the classes here. And, you know, the thing about the early stages of the game, too, is about trying to keep your options as open as possible. So is this a good time to queue up Rogue, for example? You feel like, well, you know, if I queue up Rogue and then I need Rogue against other matchups, it might be a little bit dangerous because it's too vulnerable. The less bad matchups there are for your entire field, the better you're in a position to continue to play in. So looks like they're going to go for the Reno Warlock here to shut down the Priest. It's another deck that tends to counter the Priest. However, we have seen some shenanigans come from Dragon Priest because they're able to climb on the board so fast, and things like Jackanote Operative are so effective at being able to pick up a good responsive card to the situation that sometimes you might lose. Like, I've seen Priest assemble like Leroy Powerwhelming, for example. And it's like, well, I'm safe at like 19 health, and they have like, you know, 9 power on the board. And you're like, nope, I have Leroy Powerwhelming.
Yeah, that could happen. But it is still tough. Also, there's always the Netherspite Historian into Nefarian into Sacrificial Pact. Yeah. That possibility is always there, however unlikely it is. But win conditions for the Warlock here, Draxus, if you can get Draxus down safely and just keep getting the successes every turn, you can just overwhelm the Priest. Also, just being able to have, you know, one of those early threats on 4. Being able to have Mountain Giant that doesn't get checked by Shadow or Death. Being able to have just a Twilight Drake, period, can sometimes be a little bit too much for the Priest to be able to overcome that board deficit. So lots of different ways that the Warlock can use to just outright win the game from different stages.
Well, taking a look at the opening hands here from Alliance, they've definitely got some good stuff going on here. You look at, well, they're starting with Northshire Cleric. I guess it makes sense given that they want to play Twilight Guardian most likely on curve, and Twilight Whelp is the most expendable out of any of those dragons. So rather than play Twilight Whelp, pigeonhole yourself into a situation where maybe you don't get the right dragons, you can just play Northshire Cleric. And also, Northshire Cleric contests anything that they want to play up until 3 attack. So if they play Imp Gang Boss or something else in the future, you can always threaten to draw cards. So How confident do you feel like coining out Brand Bronzebeard here, or do you feel like you need to save it for guaranteed value?
It's a poor matchup, and in poor matchups, sometimes you have to take risks. So, there's really only one card in the entire deck for Luminosity that can counter this. Maybe two. Shadow Bolt being the first, and then maybe a Soulfire if they run that in the deck, because some players do like to run the Soulfire in Reno. If it lands, you get double value off Netherspite Historian or double value off Cabal Talon Priest. So those are two really key cards. If you can make a turn 3 10 health Bran, you're probably going to be in good shape, but it is a risk.
I mean, Netherspite Historian's also a very safe play. You can always guarantee brand value later on and then follow the curve that way. I mean, I wouldn't even hate the Cabal Talon Priest too, because it does load up a lot of stats. But coining out Brand Bronzebeard has so much upside for the reasons that you said, Brian. It's a bad matchup, and sometimes you do need to take those risks in order to have that ability to win a matchup that's usually very poor. Like, I think Priest is very unfavored. Let's tune in and see what these guys are talking about as some of these important turns are coming up here.
Maybe Hellfire. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I feel like if they have super buff, man, if they super buff, man, you can silence it. I think that's fine. Yeah. Because it returns unhealable, right?
No matter what. Like, you want tempo.
Yeah, like, do we need a tap?
I wish we could, like... I wish we gotta,
could, like... So many. We gotta get the courier out.
I wish we could point this power overwhelming at this brand. That'd have been nice. And then,
I mean, we would just Soulfire it if we could, right? So.
But there's a...
Alright, I say we courier, yeah.
Looks like we're setting up.
We got a lot of 6s.
Acolyte's good if we don't want a Hellfire next turn. No, we have Spellbreaker.
Yeah, Acolyte. I think it's Acolyte.
Alright.
Even though it dies to pain and stuff, but there's other cards in our deck that dies to pain.
I don't know, like, they played Bookworm. It's gonna be really hard to find a spot where that card's...
I guess you want to take Ice Barrier with the other one?
Yeah, Barrier sucks. We have Reno.
Yeah.
I like Drake, I think.
I mean, we can always draw a card here. I mean...
No. We're 100% Talon Priesting. We're just going to think about what the courier means over tap.
Yeah. What 4-mana card?
It's either that they're super desperate for an answer to Bran or just Twilight Drake. I think. That's what comes to mind, at least.
Yeah, just play the Talon Priest.
I guess they're thinking if we heal the Bran, then we're not getting the value on this turn.
Yeah, maybe.
But they're still not killing the Bran in any way.
Yeah. We do the trade into Courier, right?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, there's not much reason not to.
There's no point in not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's kind of brutal, picking up the Shadow Bolt the turn after it would have been incredible.
Yeah, but I do have to hand it to Luminosity. This was a potential snowball victory for Priest. If they were able to get brand value for multiple turns, they would have been in deep trouble, but they kept their cool and they said, just play Cabal Courier, don't really worry. Force them into position where if they chose to heal and drew a card, then they wouldn't get brand value. And no matter what the worst case scenario is, even if they draw a couple cards, whatever, if they buff Brand Bronzebeard, we had the Spellbreaker. I felt like they kept their composure. The only thing is, how strong is that Hooded Acolyte going to be? And they did hit up upon a pretty important point that they already have a lot of 6-mana cards, meaning that as the game develops, it's going to be harder to drop multiple threats. But Hooded Acolyte is a huge liability when cards like Bookworm and Shadow Pain exist.
Yeah. It really is. And you could hear them mention that. Chalky mentioned at the end, after they'd already chosen the Hooded Acolyte. It's going to be hard to find value for that card when they run the Bookworm. But we'll see. It is much more flexible as far as mana-wise.
Yeah, I guess
Dread Infernal.
This is a position where Hooded Acolyte kind of looks pretty good, but Shadow Pain is going to really hurt here.
Yeah.
Shower Pain followed up by what looks like to be a Nether Spite Historian and the Twilight Whelp. You guarantee yourself a second dragon after the Azure Drake. So I'd probably start with the Nether Spite Historian first. Oh, actually, another possibility is drawing a card. You could. Let's go ahead and listen in with Alliance, see what they're thinking for this turn.
Well, we can get extra value from our cleric.
Or we could Nether Spite.
We would run the Brandon, right? Run the Brandon. We missed 2 damage.
Yeah, we missed 2 damage.
I would rather just Nether Spite to try to find.
I think with this card we have enough cards, probably.
Yeah.
I just don't even want to take the 1 damage on the brand because of Hellfire and Abyssal.
Once upon a time.
Alexstrasza.
We can go Twilight. Yeah, Alexstrasza's better than that.
Post Reno. Could be nutty.
Pain.
And do I play the Twilight Whelp or not?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would play.
Ooh. Is it good enough Hellfire?
Well, the thing is, if we Sylvanas, how do they punish?
They trade. Like,
Okay.
they just trade stuff, right? If they're smart, right? Like, they would just trade.
Yeah, they would.
So if we Hellfire, we certainly have to.
Like, if they Sylvanas and they make a 9/9, if they Hellfire, they could still make a 9/9. I like Sylvanas. Good talk.
I think we can limit them trading, yeah.
I guess, like, obviously the worst is they just silence and ignore it, but I don't even know. Is that worse than them trading and 9/9ing us?
If they just go face and 9/9 us here.
Well, I don't think they run the 9/9, so they have to get it off of that Discover.
But they're taking it every single time.
Well, yeah, obviously they would take it, but
And there's not that many dragons.
there's quite a few.
Isn't that better? We can go 3/6 into it, heal the 3/6 to get a card. We can play another Spite to give him 1 less bet.
3/6 is only at 3 HP then. It dies to everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Both Abyssal and
I
Hellfire, or
like to
even
play. I just like playing Nether Spite, going face with everything and def it.
face with everything.
Yeah.
We can see what it's. I mean, we're going face with
Okay,
3/6.
do it.
We have to do it
Let's
fast.
Once upon a time.
Taking Twilight Trick.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
I guess like the one you could hold back on is maybe the 3/6, but it's yeah. It's okay. We're still not. It's still not dead to Abyssal Enforcer.
All right, so this is an interesting thing where, you know, we talk about post-Reno damage. It's not exactly a very threatening board, but Alliance is a way to really turn on the gas because all they have to do is stack the board enough and then drop Alexstrasza, putting their opponent down to low health. So while this looks like a very clear Reno Jackson turn, Luminosity's not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, this is a pretty early Reno as far as this matchup is concerned, having the Reno on turn 7.
Yeah.
So usually you can, stabilize the board, but Luminosity's been playing reactive the whole game. They haven't been able to develop their own threat from the get-go. So even they need to find a way to not only remove the board, but remove the board and then develop something of their own if they're going to want to have a chance at winning this game.
Yeah, Reno stats are also premium in terms of what Priest has to deal with. 4/6 is exactly that range where everything just gets too annoying, Blackwing Corruptor means you have to trade 2 more minions into it. Azure Drake means it's easily fed. Twilight Drake's not very imposing too. It's just a 4/4.
And pushing face damage isn't as relevant in this situation because you have Alexstrasza, so you're incentivized to trade off your board and keep your board wide but healthy, as opposed to try and push damage, which is what you usually want to do in this matchup.
I do favor the idea that you're clearing the minion first, because that makes Shadow Flame a lot worse. So if you have a minion that's 4 attack, that's going to be the sweet spot of pretty much clearing anything you extend into. So if you Azure Drake, you're opening yourself up to get punished. Shambler, Shadow Flame would have been devastating for example.
Oh! Luminosity's rags have been on. Wow. And they.
Huge moment. Yeah,
God.
that was pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shadow Word Death and Azure Drake, right on time. Now, whenever we use that phrase in Hearthstone, it's often ironically, but in this case, that was exactly what they needed to.
Yeah, let's go and listen into Luminosity and see how they feel about that rag.
4 mana.
It seems okay.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to do anything. Oh. We do need to do something, apparently. Nice.
Forget that Faceless Shambler.
Shambler, but for silence, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I like
think
just playing it now.
They
Like,
have
I don't want to
dragon
get.
in their hand. They have 2
I don't want
dragons.
to get it. I don't want to get cute. Like, but yeah, it's pretty likely they have like big dragons. Like.
It's pretty unlikely that we're gonna get like a huge board and then be able to attack.
The only thing is that we play into hard removal with Alex.
Yeah.
Whereas if we put 2 threats in, it's not as bad.
I want more of a board than this.
But they could go.
I don't
think we're ever gonna get more of a board than this.
Like just Shadow Flame is already clearing the operative and the Twilight Drake.
Yeah, like I don't think we're ever gonna get more than a board, to be honest.
Okay,
But I mean,
so both of you like Alex Rasa here?
Yeah, sure.
I don't hate Alex, but I mean, I think Alex is just better.
We could double taunt.
Yeah.
Mistress double taunt tap. But we die to Corruptor Master Spell.
Shut up. Shut up.
Corruptor Master Spell. We tap.
The more important thing to think about is just Dragon Fire Potion, right? And it's not that insane.
Can't get through with Dragonfire. Dragonfire Corruptor doesn't kill us.
Yeah, and we definitely killed the Northshire, so.
If we get Coil, we just help it.
Yeah. I like your play. Tap first.
Good stuff.
Make sure you play the
Play into our MC tech, maybe. We play this.
They haven't discovered anything.
Yeah, but they could top deck it and then.
No. I like playing.
Yeah.
I like playing.
Yeah.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
It's pretty relevant to have it in play for like setting up Hellfires and stuff.
Or Jiraxis. You could punch with Jiraxis and heal.
Yeah. Like just the healing is actually pretty relevant.
What's the card?
Let's start with operates.
It kills the 4/5 and the 2/2 and our 1.
Yeah, it's not that good this turn. But let's start with operative.
Or, I mean,
Like,
we have
we're
to
probably
decide first if we're
healing
going to
the
potion.
Alex, right? No, I don't think we're potion. Potion seems bad.
6 mana kill the 4/5 and the 2/2.
He can still
With
kill
Twilight
off-
Drake Potion, he can...
I think we got always get a good potion this game.
Consider.
If we go operative heal, I guess he has a good trade just because of the 2/2. That's the bad part.
You go operative Azure Drake.
We can get.
Potion can be good for surprise lethals later on, I guess.
Yeah, I think we go operative.
Operative.
Secret agent coming through.
Last Crystal.
Last Crystal, yes.
Do I use it?
Yeah, I guess you use it on the 4/7.
4/7, yeah, 4/7.
I just love the sound that Blast Crystal Potion makes. It just sounds so wet.
Yeah.
Very damp.
That's the best quality that I like in my Hearthstone cards. Dampness.
Some people like to listen to white noise when they sleep. One of the things that I always oddly really liked was, in a very
humidifier
masochistic way, was listening to the faucet drip.
Really?
Yeah. Because
you're a crazy person.
I don't know why. It just felt very satisfying. Like
I used to like the sound of a humidifier.
Like,
water
yeah, my
dripping
water's
from a
still
humidifier.
running. Like, I'm not such a failure in life that I failed to pay the water bill.
That's why it's coming.
I can't explain it,
Oh,
dude. I'm just sharing a personal moment, TJ.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Can you handle it?
I appreciate that. I can't handle it, actually. I'm unable to handle that fact right now, but...
Oh, here we go.
Oh-ho!
Lord J coming down on the board. Dropping his Blood Fury. Do you think Jirax's in this position is absolutely mandatory?
I think so. I think the earlier you can get Jiraxis down, the better in this matchup. Just look at their hand. Their hand is like a Jiraxis hand. They have pretty much just all removal in their hand, which is usually a good sign that you need to play Jiraxis, because either that or you try and make do with what you have, and then all of a sudden you're in like a really awkward spot because you don't have you need to remove and play Jiraxis. Where in that turn, leaving a 5/6 on the board, is scary sometimes, but they have enough health to work with. They have Mistress of Mixtures, so Alliance has to make the choice: do we trade in the Mistress of Mixtures to deny their healing later, or push face damage and have some of that damage be nullified by the fact that the Mistress is on the board? So I think this is a great spot for Luminosity now. They have Shadow Flame, they have Twisting Nether, so they can remove 2 full boards essentially. And yeah, it's a great spot.
Well, I think that Alliance is paying attention to Luminosity's hand, because if they play Jiraxis with this kind of board, they know that Twisting Nether might be a possibility. Let's listen into what they're talking about and see what they're debating for this turn.
I wield the power.
Nice. Oh.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, do it.
Really?
Like at worst, we can nether. We want to pull that big dragon.
Well, I want to nether and make a 6/6.
Oh, I think Shadow Flaming is fine, right?
Yeah, it is now.
Like I really wanted to pull that big dragon.
Huh?
It was super likely that we would. Like I think the other 2 cards are really likely to be spells a lot of the time. They've got a big dragon, and they've got some other mysterious card that's most likely a spell.
We're not playing. I was playing both of these.
No, we need a dragon.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's why I like holding the nether. Deathwing actually just kills us otherwise.
Well, Dirty Rat can help us.
Oh, true. True, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but they could like pain off the top.
they already used 1 pain. They can Potion of Madness off the top, dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
We have some good draws in our deck.
Yeah. I mean, the second they brick, we just win, so...
They're gonna brick any second now, too.
That has to be definitely. That has to be definitely.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, no.
I'm thinking no.
I was gonna say I think they're just faking it. Or they could be faking it, but...
This is really awkward.
Yeah, this is awkward.
8-drop hero power, I think.
Yeah, well, you mean giant? Or nether?
Actually, what about playing 3 cards?
What 3 cards? I don't...
Ran, MC Tech, hero power. I want to play it so that...
I don't like that much. The giant gets worse from here, and they already used a death. We're not quite dead to Potion Madness.
Afraid of Rag.
No, we're not, because then they can't kill the 2/6. They have to punch, and then Rag doesn't kill us, and then we nether and win.
Yeah, I like the Mountain Giant.
Rag.
They need...
I don't think they can
need,
It's like Potion plus 1 damage, but what's the 1 damage?
It has to be... Yeah, Holy Nova.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it has to... They have to top deck us, basically. It should be fine.
Well, like, Twisting Nether doesn't give them top decks, so maybe that
Yeah.
Rag though. How do we deal with Rag if he snipes our guy?
Yeah, if we nether, it's Rag. If we don't, it's 2 specific cards, but they're likely to have one of them in their hand already. Because we know the other.
Starting to see why this matchup can get really tough from the perspective of the Dragon Priest. They just sort of run out of stuff, and Draxus just keep the gas going.
I actually do see an out for Alliance here. They should Dragonfire Potion and try to get the damage in, and then maybe use the Draconoid Operative to dig for a little bit deeper damage, like Leroy Jenkins. Because right now they're going to put Drax down to 6. And that could be a possibility to end the game.
I feel like Luminosity doesn't run.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
Doesn't mean you can't try. That's true.
Yeah. And there's also other things, too. You never know if Luminosity makes a mistake, of taking too much damage, then all of a sudden, in their minds, Hellfire or something else is also lethal.
Yeah.
However, we do know that the possibility of that happening are very low, and Luminosity would be very careful to make sure that they don't take extra damage here. I can imagine that they're just going to clear. Is there any reason to ignore the 4-2 and just like maybe go face to try to accelerate the game?
I think so. Yeah, I think you can taunt up one of these smaller drops as well as the hero power, and then start pushing damage. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to load up the board fully, and this actually sets up lethal for the following turn, even if the mind control tech is cleared off the board and hero power comes in from Alliance. So I think that's GG.
Yeah, no Dragon synergy for the Draconoid Operative. It's a fantastic card, but it needs a condition to be met prior to be able to get that insane value. So that's going to wrap up game 3. Luminosity's going to take a 2-1 lead here, putting them in a pretty good spot. And, you know, the Druid was already eliminated.
Yeah.
So that's where I was talking about, man. Even though Druid might be a good start, it does have some decks that it can hard counter. Without that Druid, what's the next best in line here? Mage, perhaps?
They also have Rogue, I think.
Rogue is a pretty decent choice.
I think Rogue was one of the 3 like OP decks or whatever that was left up.
Classes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they didn't bring Hunter. I think they could also bring Paladin if they feel like Paladin's good against the Reno Warlock.
Paladin's pretty good, yeah.
Because Reno Warlock without combo has a lot slower of a win condition and gives a lot of stall time. To the Warlock. So if they're playing an anyfin deck, then yeah, maybe we'll see Paladin come out here.
And they can be pretty confident that there's no combo. They saw Sunfury Protector, they saw Mind Control Tech, and they saw Mountain Giant, which I guess is played in combo versions as well. That's been cut in most of the low curve versions. I don't know. They saw a couple things that could indicate that Luminosity is not playing combo. So with that, Luminosity now still has plenty of decks remaining to, if say Alliance were to counter with a slow control deck like Murloc Paladin, they have the Hunter in their arsenal. They also have the Shaman in their arsenal to be able to deal with it. And there's the lineup for Alliance. A few options for them: Paladin, Rogue. All of those decks are reasonable against Reno Lock. I can imagine the least likely is a Reno Lock Mirror.
Well, actually, if the Reno Warlock runs a Power Overwhelming combo with Leroy Jenkins, then they would be favored against a Luminosity that doesn't have the Power Overwhelming combo. In fact, they'd be very much favored, a huge percentage.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. There is no priest, so it's not like their Warlock needs to be saved for like a hard counter to a problematic deck or something like that.
Yeah, so I actually wouldn't mind a Warlock Mirror pick, assuming that's what they run. If they run a more value-oriented Reno Mage, then I'd probably favor Rogue or Paladin.
Yeah.
Rogue's weakest matchups, let's see, Mage is already eliminated, but they didn't ban Shaman. So Shaman's still on the board for Luminosity. That's iffy. I probably wouldn't pick Rogue here then for that same reason.
Yeah, Rogue tends to be a deck that you save towards the end to try and be like that checkmate deck once some of the aggressive decks are out of the way. So I can imagine we're going to see a control deck here. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Murloc Paladin, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that first suggestion that you made was probably the most accurate. But
I mean, there's also the possibility that Alliance is playing Tempo Mage, and Tempo Mage is very much favored against Reno Warlock too.
Yeah, let's go and take a look at some of the classes that these two teams have had a lot of success with so far in the Trinity Series. Mage, of course, with Luminosity, we mentioned earlier, that's been sort of by far the most successful deck for them, and all those 10 wins are tempo, or most of those 10 wins are tempo mage, and this is updated to reflect today, so they did get that win today. Alliance is much more of a balanced class, but keep in mind Alliance has less wins overall because in their losses they've won less games. So Luminosity in their losses, in both of their losses, I believe they went all the way to game number 11. So even in Luminosity's losses, they've had a lot of success. That's one of the reasons why they're pretty up there in game score between all the teams that were 2-2 going into this week.
Yeah, Alliance has a swept or be swept kind of thing going on there. They either win like 6-2 or lose 2-6.
Yeah.
Seems to be the trend. We'll see if that ends up being the case here, as looks like they're getting ready to pick a deck momentarily.
Yep.
We do give them the option to switch and get everything set up.
Yep. They do have a few minutes in between to select that deck, and you might as well take your time in this case. I think deck selection is an important part of the strategy in Last Year Standing, and especially Last Year Standing Best of 11, because there's a lot more permutations later on when it comes to how many matchups there are. So
yeah, the thing about the wide field of Last Year Standing too is that the amount of decision trees that end up having that you end up formulating in your preparations end up being a lot. Like, one, it's not 1 leads to 2 leads to 4. It's like, there's like 5 decisions you make in the very beginning, which leads to 15 because of the way they can counterpick. So that's why a lot of players really appreciate Last Year Standing, not because it's a very balanced format, but because it's a hard format to prepare for.
Yeah.
And they like that because it feels like it gives them an edge over players, even though it does have its flaws. I will give it that. It does provide some entertaining series in terms of scores.
Yeah. That's for dang sure, Frodan.
All right, so we're going into Paladin, like we have discussed a few times over. The key to this matchup for the Paladin is to ensure that they keep up in draws. I think this is something that a lot of decks tend to really undervalue. They think too much about like equality, for example, of like how it deals with stuff, or Peacekeeper. What really makes the matchup strong is that Paladin can keep up in card draw with Handlock and can pretty much answer any threat that Handlock plays.
And burst out later on in the game. So, just as an update to all the viewers, during this game, we will not be able to have a listen-in for Alliance's side. If you noticed in the last match, we had some trouble with their mics. We did find a solution for them to be able to talk with each other. But unfortunately, we won't be able to listen to their communications, at least for this game. But we'll keep you updated as the broadcast goes along. We will, however, be doing Luminosity listen-ins, so have no fear.
Yeah, on the positive side, we have been able to get in contact with alien life forces in this series
Using
too.
Alliance as microphones, yeah.
Hopefully, NASA won't come hunting us down, but if we do, we're going to have to take a momentary break to give them the archive so that way they can understand and decode the language that they were speaking. Breakthrough for science, honestly.
If we don't come back, if the broadcast goes back and we don't come back, please send someone to my house and delete my browser history.
And all the folders on your desktop.
All the folders on my desktop.
Of puppies.
Yes.
Yes. The hush puppies.
There is also a folder in the C drive labeled kittens. Please delete that. Don't look at anything in that folder as well.
As if we had a choice. Well, going into this turn here, Luminosity has a very nice Twilight Drake here. Doesn't seem like saving for the Mountain Giant is too useful. The problem is either Peacekeeper, almost pretty much any threat that comes out here, Acolyte can guarantee multiple draws off of. So Peacekeeper seems very appetizing, so that you can draw multiple cards. I don't see really an alternative. You could choose over multiple turns. Seems like a waste, though.
Dan, I have a new update. I actually lied, and we fixed the issue. Alliance, we can listen in now. And actually, let's go ahead and listen in. Take a look.
At the end of the world, at least. So the question is if we Doomsayer or if we True Silver. Could also just soul him. I like True Silver, I think.
Well, we never soul him because of our hand, but we could Doomsayer. What are we denying?
I mean, it's turn 5. It's not that much. They can't play Mountain Giant anyways. It seems weird.
I don't think we're playing
They can't play Mountain Giants.
3, 6, 7.
They have 8 cards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cost
Yeah, they
3
can
and
exactly play Mountain.
cost 5.
I
And
think
they can also play Henry.
I like Doom, so you.
If they dirty red, we at least have one Ivory Knight for sure, and yeah, Blue Goo would just be a good pull for us.
Yeah.
I feel like equality concentration Doomsayer is a long time away.
Yeah, it sets up for just like a solemn every night turn next turn. Gets a 4/4 on board. It's pretty good.
I play the Doomsayer.
Fine.
Kill the 1/1 tap.
Yeah, we almost certainly trade, right?
Yeah, because of Solemn Vigil and
Solemn Vigil into Finja.
Oh, so we got Emperor on 6, Giant Shambler on 7, Jiraxis on 8.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it to trade though.
Yeah.
So this is interesting.
The hand buff, I guess, right?
Is it better than Noble?
Noble seems okay.
Noble, they have to play around a lot
We can
of
play
stuff.
Noble Ivory Knight next turn if they play like Mountain Giant.
I definitely like Noble more than like Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run seems bad.
It's
Also, Noble's Sacrifice it's a secret, right? They never know what it is. They have to kind of play around repentance and stuff like that.
I like Noble Sacrifice too.
Wait, picking though. Yeah, okay, pick the Noble.
It's pretty unfortunate. We've all been there where every night just gives you 3 options that don't seem that appetizing, all for different reasons. Interesting that they thought Smuggler's Run was bad. It feels like they can hold on to that for a while.
Yeah.
And make Tyrion better and make Rag Lightlord better. Even like the Murlocs being better is good because Finja, for example, can trade better.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm a little bit surprised, but I do see the value of Noble Sacrifice. It can stop like a huge Mountain Giant attack if they want it to.
Can protect a minion.
Yep, that too.
You throw a Noble Sacrifice up with the Tyrion, and all of a sudden their trades become super awkward.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is. They're worried about redemption, so they don't want to use hard removal on it, all those types of things.
Getaway Kodo.
Getaway Kodo.
I mean, we have seen some people theorize that, play. What if you play Finja and just like Getaway Kodo and just bring back Finja and you play it again? Just draw the remaining Murlocs out of your deck. That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
Of course, Tyrion synergy, Rag synergy. Noble Sacrifice is often seen similar to like a Divine Shield. If you have a taunt minion up, it just feels similar to that.
Yeah.
Although you don't get the exact trade damage. So I can see the merit of that as well.
Well, Finja plus double trade, but Luminosity got a ton of value from that Emperor Thor's hand.
Yeah, full hand, 2-mana Mountain Giant. Pretty busted as busted goes. So you can Mountain Giant first and then tap and play a Faceless Shambler. You are extending into equality, but that is a lot of power to deal with. Let's see what Luminosity's thinking this turn. That's the strongest tempo play we see. Maybe they see something better.
Box off, and then we have to board clear those.
Yeah, it's just much harder for them to kill us with the Murlocs in their deck still.
We'll have another play.
Giant Shadow Flame?
Giant Shadow Flame tap. It's bad,
Giant
though.
Shadow Flame is like Nether.
Yeah, and it's just better. Yeah,
It's better than Nether, right?
I think we have to Nether it.
Yeah.
Nice 5 up. Really well played. All right.
We're not salty.
No.
Maybe a little.
Oh, no, there's no,
I guess Avenging Wrath.
Yeah, I would snap pick it. Pick it now.
Wait, why?
To make them fear anything.
I mean, there's only 3. Do we play Secret or do we Hero Power? It looks good.
I want to play the secret to like make them fear it, but
I mean, we can always do that next turn. I think I like this hero power.
Next turn, maybe they have something on board. Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
I want stuff on the board.
Reporting for duty.
6, 7, 5, 6, 7.
Seems decent to me. They're almost certainly going to equality it, and then we rag, you think? Well, yeah. I mean, we could just refreshment vendor, right?
Shambler's kind of at its best here.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, we could save the Shambler for post-Jiraxis is what I was thinking, but vendor is also decent in that spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
See why it becomes tough for the Warlock, because it's hard for them to stick threats on the board. Eventually, they start to get low because of taps. Their board gets wiped out because of equality clears. And then by that time, there's enough Murlocs, and they just die. Anything can happen.
Yeah, not just that, though, TJ. You just saw like how they had to use Twisting Nether to deal with a Finja.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, it's not just awkward. It feels like such a waste because Twisting Nether is your way to deal with a Murloc board, but at the same time, if they get the double any fins, you're probably dead, so you can't really bank on the fact that Twisting Nether will help you fatigue your opponent out of resources. So I don't blame Luminosity for using it there. It's just so counterintuitive. Why would you use one of the best, if not the best, AoE in the game to remove a single target minion?
Yeah.
Stealth is just such a strong mechanic because of that one fact.
Yeah.
I love this use of Noble Sacrifice. A quality Noble Sacrifice, we don't really think about using that as a combination of cards, but Alliance being able to utilize it. But look at this draw. Spellbreaker.
Oh, they could silence their own Mountain Giant, healing it back up, effectively healing it back up to 8, setting its health to 8.
Hold on. Is it better to silence their Acolyte to stop their draw?
Because if you silence the Mountain Giant, then they don't draw. Oh, I guess Aldar Peacekeeper has to be in the back of your mind. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. That's tough.
I kind of like silencing the Acolyte, but I mean, part of the reason why you would silence this Mountain Giant is because the ultimate thing, you need to win the game. You can't just sit on your butt all day and hope that you're able to win the game through them running out of resources or outvaluing them. It's not going to happen unless anything is literally card 29 and 30.
Yeah.
All right, Tyrion comes in the hand here. Tyrion's a pretty good card normally in all circumstances in the late game. Let's check in with Alliance and see what they're thinking for this crucial turn.
This is the best.
Yeah, I kind of like sitting on equality a bit longer.
The Tyrion is really slow though, but they could have Ooze, so...
Yeah, I mean, I like playing the Tyrion next turn.
And go for
this turn. Go Aldar Hero Power.
Yeah, we need to draw a lot of cards because we haven't had really any Murlocs die and we haven't found anything yet.
Yeah. I mean,
like that.
You guys can play Aldar the 8/6 attack and kill the Spellbreaker with the True Sovereign Hero Power.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. And do we never overdraw?
I don't think so. We play.
We could maybe. I do it anyway.
Let's do this first.
Yeah, we have 3, we have 6, we have 7, 8. No, we don't overdraw. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. We never overdraw here.
Okay, so we've got trade, Jiraxis Hero Power, hit the Acolyte, and go to 14. That's better than going to 12, right? And saving health on our guy. I don't think our guy health matters.
Yeah, this is good.
It's a little weaker to Consecration, but he still has to face tank the 6/6. Yeah.
So we kind of want to save the rag for after he uses the second equality, or when it's lethal.
I mean, Rag plus 6/6 is just good on an open board if possible. Like, it forces the second to Like, if he clears and doesn't develop, we probably just Rag.
Right, I'm saying after he clears. Okay, yeah, if he clears...
If he clears, like, he could just Consecration, yes.
Well, Drax is coming down for Luminosity. Draxus carries the inherent risk of never being able to go above 15 unless you get armor from Kazakis. So you're more vulnerable to Murlocs, but if you get it down, it sort of puts a clock on your Murloc Paladin opponent because they only have a certain amount of time to find Murlocs before they get overrun by 6/6s.
Yeah, I think focusing on the health of Draxus is a cup half empty approach. I think if you want to look at it optimistically, your opponent has to deal with 6/6s every turn, and they just use their second Peacekeeper. So they're not going to have a lot of access to waste single target remove these, or effectively neuter these threats.
Yeah.
They're not playing Eotric, for example.
Yeah.
So you can bank on the fact that you'll be able to wear your opponent down over time. I love the setup from Alliance, playing Tyrion and the Doomsayer, setting up for an opportunity for them to use a weapon and Avenging Wrath with Pyro Equality next turn. Luminosity needs to do a lot here. They need to set up a taunt, they need to heal, they need to make sure they don't lose their board. So Siphon Soul and the secondary Bruiser seems to be a pretty good connection here. I think that should keep them alive. Let's tune into Luminosity as they're coming up on a turn where they could potentially lose. Let's see if they can figure it out.
Up the Rag, that's good for us if that happens.
We could really take our time on these turns. Like,
I don't know. We could taunt. We still just save ourselves 5 life and make the next turn a lot easier to do.
I'm just thinking the taunt. Okay.
Well, we're definitely making a 6/6. Like, I kind of like the taunt. Like, it just saves us health, right?
Well, the thing is, if he Equality Consecrates in a really bad spot, he has to Equality Consecrate this board anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1 and 6 with Rag, and we don't really care.
So what do we do now? I mean, it's always going to be one off. Like, the chance of it hitting solo. We have Wild Pyro cons. That clears everything.
You mean
cons Wild Pyro cons.
Also clears everything.
What clears everything?
Cons, Wild Pyro cons.
No.
And say Wild Pyro. Yeah. I really like that line.
No, it doesn't clear the 6/6s, right?
Yeah, it does. Cons? Oh, no, then you have to go Wild Pyro cons.
Yeah, Wild Pyro cons.
Yeah, do that.
Let me like to play with fire.
Clear, that's good. Oh, it's good we didn't play Sunfury.
Oh,
that's pretty good. I think.
Let's do that and taunt them. Yeah.
Do we taunt?
Yeah.
Another Pyro Q. We don't play around it, right?
No, they might have just done it that turn. I don't know. They need exactly second Pyro, second EQ, and it's pretty likely based off how they've played that they don't have it. I say we taunt.
Yeah.
We always have second Ray Bruiser if we need a taunt.
Like, he has no more taunts. He doesn't have that much healing left, right?
Yeah, it's a first
He just used Reno, so... I mean, we kill him through Farseer. No, we don't kill him through Farseer. 8, 13. Yeah, we do. We kill him through Farseer.
Let me think.
Yeah, it's only a second-rate Bruiser that does taunt.
So what's is there any point in saving the Avenging Wrath?
I don't think so. Or maybe
Wild Pyro Quad and then Wicked Flame Warlight.
Then it
Yeah, I think I like that better.
But then it means that it doesn't actually 100% go like face.
Actually, they don't really have that much defensive tools left.
They have one taunt. They have the 5 mana taunt. I mean, this is always happening. Well, Pirate Party is always happening.
Okay.
I think I like the Avenging Wrath.
Yeah, go for Avenging Wrath.
You sure?
Yeah.
Listen to 2. Alright.
Oh. Ouch.
Well, we're dead to bluegill. No matter what.
We're just dead to anything.
Yeah.
Damn, got us.
Oh well. I mean, we can't do anything, so.
So we play the Bruiser, we're going to hero power, and we get a 3-drop. Is it MC Tech or Brand?
So we take them to 16. They get a 12, they get a 9.
MC.
By MC Tech, yeah.
Sullen. So we hit Sullen, and we can still play these 2.
For Bluegill, it's lethal.
Yeah.
It might be dead though. But I mean, we have to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's the play. Like the hero power doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there's no point in equipping the True Silver either. No.
Oh. One card off.
So just trigger Flame War Leader.
I think we're dead to Rag.
God. Oh, that's like the best draw.
We have lethal?
Do we? We don't, right? We don't. How would we lethal? There's like no way. We can't hit into that, remember?
How shall I destroy?
I say we...
Shadow Flame the Mistress?
Yeah, we're gonna Shadow Flame the Mistress, and then we want to be at 6. 100% we want to be at 6, right?
Yeah, because of True Silver.
We're setting up lethal no matter what next turn, so we're gonna go bump. We bump the 6/6 in, and then we Shadow Flame the Mistress, and we bump the 3/3 in, and then we play Brand 6/6. Or no, we can't. Yeah, we can. Yeah, so Mistress, Shadow Flame, the Mistress.
Trust me.
And then you go bump 6/6 in, bump 3/3 in. And then you make dudes.
Do you have a Doomsayer?
No.
Not at all.
So they need exactly True Silver Bluegill now.
Oh my god.
Dude, you baited!
It was a good game.
That one was intense. That one went all the way down
really
the
back
wire.
and forth. And I think you can go through the thought process of all the players and just kind of break it down piece by piece. But the thought that I really like is that how Wicker Flame, Burn Bristle end up being a huge MVP clutch there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just taunting, but also gaining life.
They were
really
dead, I
stopping
think, if it wasn't for
lines
that
in their
guy.
tracks.
Yeah. Well, it's now tied 2-2. This is usually how the matches have gone. A lot of times, counter deck, which means Luminosity has a slight advantage because they got the first win. So that means they sort of get the counter advantage going into it. But we'll see. We'll see if Luminosity can find a deck to counter and continue and get a lead in the series. We're going to go to a break, but don't go anywhere, guys. More Trinity Series right after this. everybody, and welcome back to week number 5 of the Trinity Series, presented by ESL on Twitch. My name is TJ, joined by Brodan.
Yo, you forgot my name?
No,
After all these years casting together, BJ, you forget my name?
That's right, Dan Fro.
I'm offended.
Frodad.
You caused this rift between us. It's Fro Mom. Get it right.
That's right. You're the mama hen. But right now we are smack dab in the middle of a series between Luminosity and Alliance. And currently Luminosity
Hunter
has the counter edge here. And yeah, it's going to be the Hunter.
Yeah, so Hunter can take advantage of Paladin's slow get-up. And if they have Deadly Shot, they're going to be well-equipped to take out Finja. So let's see what ends up happening here with Paladin. They're the ones that's going to need to make the power plays here. Hunter, would you keep Deadly Shot? I don't know.
Probably not because of how much you need the early curve. But if they really think that Finja is going to be the way that they lose this game, then I can understand why they would want to. But the way Hunter works
disagree with it?
Yeah.
I don't think you keep Deadly Shot, but it'd be one of those interesting things. Maybe that's like such a key linchpin to the matchup that they hold on to it. Alliance just going to pitch while holding, pitch the other 2 cards, but hold on to Barnes and True Silver. Looks like Luminosity is throwing away everything but King's Elec.
The Zoth.
Oh, cool stuff. They're playing a death rattle on the Zoth Hunter. This was a deck that was brought to the playoffs. Well, technically not playoffs. The Tavern Hero Finals by 2 Beers, who got to the finals of that, but was not able to get to the final round.
Unfortunately for all the viewers, he would have been the only Hunter represented in the Europe playoffs. But one thing is this deck does need some time, and it does have some draws in the deck that can make their hands a little bit clunky. And against faster decks, that can be a huge liability. But against slower decks, it's not too bad. Missing that is actually brutal. There's not too many high drops in the deck. There's a lot of cheap minions, so missing that is unfortunate, unlucky.
Yeah, you know, I think it's more of the fact that they needed a 3 mana play here. Oh, interesting.
Double deadly. But let's go ahead and listen into Luminosity and hear their thoughts.
We don't want to give him a vigil, right?
I guess that's true. And it can test Acolyte.
I think we shoot it.
We could shoot it, I guess.
We don't need 2, we just need 1 for the Finja.
Yeah.
I guess one of them's good for like Tyrion or Light Lord. We kind of do need 2.
Yeah, we've got an Azoth. I don't know.
All right, so what if we kill commanded?
Well, what if at that point, what if we just bowed and let him go?
No, this kill command sucks, right?
Okay.
What do you think? We don't have a follow-up minion play.
I think we Deadly Shot it.
That's fine.
I think it's Barnes for the 4 leader. It's Barnes or True Silver.
Yeah, the Houndmaster's too good, I think. I like the True Silver because it threatens to kill the next target next turn as well.
Yeah.
Wait.
Barnes.
If we play Barnes and they Houndmaster, that's not the end of the world.
It does the same thing. Like the 1/1 can kill. But is there anything that we actually want from Barnes? It might just be better to go True Silver and then we kill this. We probably kill the next thing. Like, okay, is there anything we can't kill next turn? True Silver?
They can play their own Barnes. We can't kill the Death Rattle, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, but then we play Barnes next turn.
I guess leading with True Silver makes sense.
It makes more sense, right?
Yeah, their hand is Houndmaster and nothing else.
No.
that.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Good talk. Good talk.
Fucking high main.
Rag.
Drag. Oh.
That's a truth over hit.
Yeah.
That's really scary for them.
It is pretty scary for them.
Yeah, it's more annoying than anything else because you know that you can deal with Thunder Rhino. It's just you don't want to waste the weapon charge on it. And this Barnes was a lot worse for Alliance. But to be fair, there's a lot of duds. You know, they can get the Elder Peacekeeper. They could get another Ivory Knight. Even War Leader itself is not that great. You're looking for like Tyrion. I guess Light Lord's pretty good. And I guess Acolyte of Pain. Bluegill's also good too.
Bluegill also because you want to weight your anythings more towards chargers.
But it's cool if you Barnes and you get Finja, and Finja pulls out Finja, and Finja pulls out the other Murlocs.
An infinite loop.
It's not... Oh, that's a pretty nice draw. It's not true infinite with that kind of stuff, but it is pretty funny.
No, it's infinite.
It's kind of like a future Finja comes back to summon the present-day Finja. And then you have the bootstrap paradox. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if you went back in time, TJ, and gave Mozart a piece of music that he wrote, then who actually wrote it?
Whoa!
Right. So this is actually like a thing. It's a bootstrap.
So what you're saying is Finja wrote it.
What I'm saying is, did Finja create
Mozart?
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
Mozart.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest questions we'll have to answer. In our
It doesn't make
lifetime.
too much sense in my head, but you know those types of things I just don't like to question too much.
You're so smart.
Reporting for duty.
Thanks.
Well, Alliance is stuck in their own little problem here. Do they like to play the Warrior just to get onto the board? Acolyte just gets eaten up. I guess the draw can be kind of valuable. You're going to be looking to play the Ivory Knight next turn. I think if I'm the Paladin, I'm mainly concerned of the Hunter's board getting too big. And next turn is Mr. Highmane himself. So if you're afraid of Highmane, what can you do to make sure that you're strong against it? That's almost nothing you can do, really, to guarantee anything.
Yeah, I just hope that you find answers to deal with it. But let's go and listen in on Luminosity and see how they're playing to tackle this turn.
I don't know.
Here we go. Bow quick shot.
Wait.
Bow the 3/3 quick shot the 3/1. Not first instinct.
Basically a question of if the extra mana on kill command is worth the 2 extra damage potentially. Because we're never
kill an
drawing
Ivory Knight. If we draw a beast for 4 or less.
Also,
Emperor. Yeah. Well, we're pretty confident they don't have Emperor by now, but yeah, I'm down with the.
What's our not trading the 1/1 for Deadly Shot, right? We're still just going face for 4.
No, we're going face for 4.
Yeah, I'm going face for 4.
And we're using quick shot saving kill command.
Yeah.
Probably very top heavy if they make this play.
Yeah. But it's always Ivory Knight, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're never scared of damage now. That was actually a pretty good draw.
Yeah, for me, kneeling is a great pickup.
We have some
Get a 10.
stuff.
Get a 10 of Ivory. Not quite.
I mean, it's interesting.
It's not that bad with Pyro plus Acolyte, but maybe we want to save the Pyro either way.
Yeah. But which, do we do Redemption, right?
Redemption does have quite a lot of upside with like Redemption Acolyte next turn.
Yeah, or Redemption on Tyrion on 9.
Yeah.
But the other ones seem bad.
How bad is the hand buff?
Pretty bad. We only have 2 cards.
Quickly.
I think redemption is.
Well, the redemption also, like, I mean, next turn, say we draw nothing, we have to play the hero power either way.
We don't have the hero power. We can acolyte not hero power.
Then they know for sure as well.
I'm just gonna
pick redemption, just attack base.
Yeah, then they're leaving our acolyte up.
Like, these Ivory Knights have been pretty bad.
Yeah, our Barnes and Ivory Knights have not been.
Well, we got Avenging Wrath. It's pretty good.
Avenging Wrath was decent, I guess.
Yeah, no point in value trading because we're not going into 8 quite yet.
Oh.
Alright. Good stuff, good stuff.
Such big teeth I have.
Do you think N'Zoth will be the back-breaking moment for Hunter, or do you think the game will be resolved by then? Like, it won't matter if you played N'Zoth versus, like, anything that's, like, 8 mana or higher?
They've only played... This is the only Death Rattle mini they've played so far. So right now, N'Zoth is not scary. Kind of Grandma is the only one.
I mean, it's still a 5/7 body, so it is kind of intimidating on its own.
Yeah, but, you know, once you play that, as long as you've had multiple Death Rattles die, it's pretty much game over from that point for the Paladin. They'd have to have multiple clears. So, I don't know. I think you're should be inclined to wait a little bit for that. It's tough. But, you know, definitely the best draws in their deck currently are Infested Wolf, Rat Pack, Savannah Highmane.
Yeah, Rat Pack's interesting to me because that card, when Me Streets was revealed, was thought to be the strongest Hunter card along with Dispatch Kodo, but hasn't really been able to pick up just because of how weak Hunter is as a class. And I wonder if it ends up making a stronger comeback post-patch that'll eventually come at the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, Redemption could get some good use here. Oh, the Highmane.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, now if you want to go for a N'Zoth in the next couple turns, even one Highmane is worth it. So
yeah,
he's in a good spot now. Let's see if Zilay can close this game soon.
Yeah, the question here is, what do they think this secret is? And if they think it's Redemption, how do they deal with it? They can deny draw with the Acolyte of Pain by using Deadly Shot. But then that means they delay Highmane, and it also means that they don't have Deadly Shot for Finja. They can probably make a pretty good read that there is no Finja right now.
Well, they just kind of determine what secret is first. Right now, they test it for Repentance, trying to see if they attack first the 1/1 into the face, to test for Noble Sacrifice perhaps, because if they swing with the bow into Noble Sacrifice, you're going to be really disappointed. Wow, taking the risk here, saying it's probably Redemption or Getaway Kodo or something.
Yeah.
Nah. They make a read, ends up being a little punished for it. I guess there's worse outcomes, because if it was Tyrion being played on curve here, that'd be also problematic.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, Paladin's getting low on life, so they have to figure out how they want to do this. Most likely Rag Light Lord, but there's still a lot of power on the board, even if they do that. Let's check out what the Alliance is thinking right this turn.
Guy and play Rag.
Head into Highmane, right?
Yeah. Oh, we should call the wild.
Other place or
Not let the call the wild. The call of the wild.
What they call the wild?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Call of the wild becomes really annoying. We would have to go wild power quality consecration.
Let me think.
How much do they put us to if they do that?
Move quickly.
7, 9, plus 5.
They put us to 6 HP.
Yeah.
I think it's the best line still.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we win with Forbidden Healing if they don't have follow. Like, they actually have to deal with this Rag, right? They can't just call the Rag go full face.
Yeah, I mean, we could just go... I mean, they could, actually.
You do the deadly first, just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, we can clear all the 1-drops with the...
No, it could be Mistress. It could be Mistress.
Yeah.
That's
we don't
the
want
most
to trade
likely.
it.
Yeah, we don't want to trade at all.
We don't care about AoE. It's off. We want to bait it.
Damn,
Yeah, our deck's actually functioning.
I kind of wanted the other one.
I'm okay with this outcome.
Wanted the Ice Lance.
Yeah, the Ice Lance.
That's right. It's been mulliganed. I mean, it's not a keep. It's a mulligan.
Oh, they mulled it. Okay.
For the entire time.
So it's probably Call of the Wild or Rag.
Can be Rag. They would probably Call the Wild there, right? Maybe not.
How much do we?
No, it's not a good Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild plays into sweepers from us. Like they have to do very awkward trade. That was not a good Call of the Wild turn at all. No, it was a terrible. It was a terrible Call of the Wild turn.
Our sweepers would be really bad.
They could not play around Wild Pyro like a clear.
Yes, because if Wild Pyro equality, they still have 3 minions on board.
Not if they trade into Rag.
They wouldn't trade. They would go face.
No. It can be Call of the Wild for sure. I thought about it. Like, it can be for sure.
Yes.
But I think we went for quality of consecration, right?
Think so? It's really bad against. We can go Aldor Doomsayer heal.
I like the other play.
Okay. So Wild Pyro equality comes.
Gasp.
It's all dead. Nizot's the better lead, right?
Yeah, Nizot, obviously.
Nice Hunter deck. Real good against Rogue, too.
Thank you to Muzzy for the Nizot tech. Muzzy always wanted to put Nizot and Hunter, dude.
I know.
That was a good high main this game, huh?
Yeah. That one worked out for us.
I mean, then they just go.
No, that's terrible.
How good is the Doomsayer? Even if we play double Peacekeeper, how good is the Doomsayer actually?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. We could also use double alt or hero power.
I think I like playing the Finja here a lot. We can always just forbidding healing next turn.
No, but we might just die if we Finja. We probably
how do we win if we do any other play? Like Finja actually gets us stuff on the board.
Healing or something. The double alt or hero
power.
What
do we do then?
Double alt or hero power.
Oh, they drew both Aldors.
Still lethal.
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
Yeah. Good.
Alright, well smart.
Ooh. I've been training for this on ladder for 2 weeks. Just nothing but Hunter for ESL Trinity Series.
Well, Luminosity takes the victory, and as is tradition, when the first Hunter win of the day comes in on Trinity Series, it's time to sound the honorary Hunter horn. All right, we'll see if Luminosity can, break the trend that we've seen Hunter have if you're not Tempo Storm, and that's take a win and then lose a game.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend there. Look at this. This is something that I know the ESL Trinity producers are, dreaming of, frothing at the mouth for. 5 games, 5 different classes win. They're like, yes, class diversity. You know that gif of that guy that's like doing deep breaths and is holding his fist out? And he's like, I'm not on camera anymore. You can't see it. I'll do it again when we come back.
It was quite erotic, actually.
Yeah. It was like a euphoric moment where the guy, he's like in the crowd at a stadium or something like that, and he's like holding his fist up, and he's just like... That's all the ESL Trinity producers right now.
I believe he was at a
5 classes, 5 games, 5 different wins.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And make sure you guys tweet out some of your favorite moments if you are also frothing at the mouth and getting way too excited about class diversity.
Your pants.
Yeah. You can tweet at ESL Hearthstone using the hashtag Trinity Series and let us know some of your favorite moments from throughout the day. But now it's time.
Invoice us for your pants.
Yes.
TJ will pay you back.
Yes, I will pay you back for your pants.
Also, if you need wazoo lessons, is that what we're calling it?
It's the hunter horn.
Oh, it's the hunter horn. I thought the official instrument is called the wazoo. You can
no,
call
the
it
official instrument is called the hunter horn.
Oh, okay. So it complements the eagle horn bow.
Yes.
If you want lessons on how to play the hunter horn, TJ is also offering that as a bonus package with Hearthstone coaching. So if you want to hire TJ, you can email him. Hit him up on Twitter at AzumoCutie, and then inquire about those hunter horn lessons.
Yeah, slam the rag.
Are you holding it backwards?
No, no.
Are you sure? Isn't this supposed to be the bigger side on the outside, and then you're supposed to twist it around?
Nope. This is the.
You sure, dude?
This is the hunter part of the hunter horn.
It looks like a spare part. Someone added a rusty horn on top, from the Clockwork Gnome.
I wonder if we can get it.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Can you turn this thing around? You can. Try it this way.
Nope. Nothing comes
you're
out.
Not trying, dude.
Nothing comes out.
All right, you're just trying to make me look bad. I get it. It's cool, dude. Whatever.
Can we get a zoom in?
Oh, okay. That blows my mind, dude. I thought the entire time that it was the other way around. But I can take a hint when I get one.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, well, as you can tell, we're clearly stalling for time until game number 6 comes out.
Yeah,
trying to do a musical number. TJ, the one-man band.
I'm starting.
When does your new single come out?
I'm slowly starting to assemble the one-man band.
You have some of your singles that are ready to hit.
Yeah.
Such as
Happy Birthday.
Yeah, Happy Birthday, and the rendition of all About That Face.
Yep.
Right.
Toxic by Britney Spears.
Toxic.
Yeah, that's.
Does that come with a music video?
It does actually.
Oh,
Not me dancing.
please.
It's actually That's Admirable featured in the video as the lead dancer.
Yeah. Where's my wallet? I'll toss some money at you.
Pre-orders are available.
I'll Venmo you.
Tweet at ESL Hearthstone to place your pre-orders. Someone will be in contact with you to determine pricing and all that nonsense. But
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit platinum with that kind of record, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. So in game number 6, things that counter Hunter, I can imagine that any kind of aggressive deck that Alliance may have here up their pocket. So maybe this is a time to bust out the Rogue to see if they can cut down the Hunter, and then they can use Rogue to potentially clean up a lot more decks in the series. But if you bust out Rogue here, then you can anticipate Shaman coming out. And once Shaman comes out from Luminosity, then Alliance probably will turn to their Mage. And that's just like a, tit for tat, game for game. And that'd be a 4-4 score at the end of it all.
Yeah, one thing they do have to worry about if they're going to choose the Rogue here is they saw double Deadly Shot. So concealed minions aren't going to be as impactful. They have to make sure that if they're going to go for a concealed play, that they sort of protect from Deadly Shot, or just rip it and hope they don't have it. Something along those lines.
Definitely a lot worse with that Violet Teacher. Like Violet Teacher was in the lists of the Rogues when Hunter and Deadly Shot was still prominent, and now it's not really the case. I guess you do have 1/1s with Patches and the Swashbucklers, but without that, you're going to be struggling a lot. So, yeah, I definitely like Rogue here. I wouldn't say what they also have access to
Druid, Priest.
Druid. No, they already won with Priest and lost.
Oh, sorry.
So they have Druid, Mage, Rogue, and Warlock.
Yeah.
Would not suggest Warlock, would not suggest Mage, unless it's Tempo Mage. Then, yeah, what if they lose with Rogue? Then all of a sudden they can find themselves potentially in trouble against the Hunter, dude.
Yeah, but I don't know. This Hunter deck is very slow. Rogue seems like, aside from crazy Deadly Shot shenanigans, they should be able to take this. This deck is incredibly vulnerable to sap. One sap could just completely ruin the game for Luminosity with this Hunter deck. So definitely going to have to keep an eye on it, but Always love watching some Hunter games nowadays because you don't get to see it very often. It's a refreshing sight.
Which is, such a weird thing to say. Most people aren't like saying, "Wow, I can't believe we get to watch Hunter. Ooh, yippee!" But when they're playing Rat Pack, when they're playing N'Zoth, when they're playing some more, we don't want to jump the gun, but control style Hunter, then that's cool. That's actually cool. And we don't get to say that very often in an unironic way, TJ.
We don't, no.
Usually we say, oh, patches with small-time Buccaneer. That's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but often we're saying it sarcastically. I think the fact that we get to see Hunter being played in a defensive/control setting, I mean, it's kind of mid-rangey, but curves all the way out to 10, so it's not really exactly.
Hearthstone is great.
All right, let's not get carried away here, TJ. But all things considering, that's kind of what makes this format pretty cool. You get to see some people innovate the decks ever so slightly on top of the already big wealth of classes.
Yep. So right off the bat, Alliance seems like they have a pretty good opening hand. One thing that Hunter struggles with currently is getting back on a board that they've lost early on in the game. That's why it doesn't do well in the current meta, because Warrior, Shaman, Rogue, all those decks are incredibly popular. So now Luminosity already has to fight back from sort of a position where they're behind on the board. But let's go ahead and listen to the Alliance, hear what they're planning.
Just think about it for yourselves for a bit. It's not super obvious. We can always wait one turn.
Yeah, like if we do that, we lose to bow into deadly shot. We don't lose, but bow into deadly shot. I guess it's not. I mean, if you stagger backstab, the coin pillager turn 5, we can go for like questing coin.
What if they go like the most like obvious play they could have is like bow into 4, right? Or bow into deadly. I mean, I think I like Edwin here just because it plays around like most things. I guess bow into deadly is still kind of bad.
No, is there not do a good next turn?
It's up to us.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's up to us. Great. I like it.
Going back to that.
Well, this was a close game of Hearthstone. You believe in this deadly shot?
Deadly shot! Well, we got a Ragnaros next turn, so.
Yeah, we're in it.
Oh.
Even if we pull Hyman, we can probably clear the turn after.
True. I don't know, we might want a Houndmaster depending on how this goes. If he daggers, obviously we don't.
We could bump and then Houndmaster.
Yeah, we could.
Curve, Pillager into Azure Drake. We're always going to be on board before them.
Yeah.
So Dagger, trade the Buccaneer.
Yeah, Dagger trade.
Oh wait, do we trade the Buccaneer? Like, don't we trade the Edwin? No, I'm pretty sure we trade Edwin.
Plays into kill command, plays into quick shot, plays into everything.
Yeah, but that's fine, right? Yeah, but that's fine, right? Yeah, but that's fine. We keep our free one in play, which does a lot versus them. They're not running Unleash and things. I'm pretty sure we just trade Edwin in. Because this free one on board is actually doing a lot.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Do you even cold-blood it to 5-1?
No, I don't like cold-blood.
Yeah, because we can go questing cold-blood stuff later.
Yeah.
Barnes
does seem better than Houndmaster this turn.
Tonight, a tale of long-lost worlds.
Yes!
Holy cow. We're in it.
We summoned him.
This was good.
I love it. A moment of rapture for Luminosity right before they're just about to get concealed.
Yeah. I think Alliance could even set up a potential 2-turn lethal here. If they go all face and conceal, they do 10 damage this turn, bring them down to 17. And they conceal 12 damage on the board with a Cold Blood in hand. So as long as they pick up a playable card the following turn to couple with Cold Blood, the game is over.
Yeah,
so,
assuming they can read Dagger.
Yeah, they can't Houndmaster, though. That could make things a little bit awkward. But, I mean, Hunter doesn't have any way to heal. They usually don't have any way to stabilize.
Right.
So once that damage gets in and the minions get protected, it's usually lights out.
Yeah, they're usually just in a defensive position, and for the rest of the game, dead to like an eviscerate. So enjoy it while you can, Alliance, because news recently dropped about an hour ago. If you guys are watching, this is how we prove we're a live broadcast, by the way. About an hour ago, Blizzard dropped news that Conceal is rotating out of Standard, along with Azure Drake, Sylvanas, Ice Lance, and one other card I can't remember off the top of my head. 3 class cards. No one's going to miss those cards.
Nope.
Except Ice Lance, I guess. A few Freeze Mage players are crying in the corner.
Power Overwhelming is the last one.
Oh, Power Overwhelming. You're right. You're right. So enjoy it while you can, Alliance. And Luminosity, all of a sudden, their giggles have turned into
sobs.
Faces of fright.
Yeah, you could tell. Zolay's biting both of his hands' nails at the same time.
Yeah. So I guess Houndmaster is your best bet here. Maybe Fiery Bat?
I would actually hold on to Fiery Bat because next turn you can tundra around a Fiery Bat and not have to worry about it getting cleared. You can bump the damage in.
Yeah, but the 1 damage might kill the Buccaneer, so you force a Buccaneer trade into it.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Well, Alliance, they can pick up a playable card here. Ooh, a prep.
Yeah. So, prep, Tomb Pillager. Okay, hold on. So, that's 3 damage to the questing plus 4, so that's 10, 16,
total.
17 total, I count.
Oh, 17?
Yeah, because of Dagger. Is that right? They're 1 damage off lethal? Let's check in. Maybe Alliance sees something that we don't.
Yeah,
makes sense,
right? Actually, Drake prep is better, right?
Abyss is lethal.
You put that Drake first?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's still very likely to hit our minions. That's lethal, right?
Is that lethal?
Just hit, and then prep Cold Blood and see. Hit with the 3-1.
Let's do the counting later.
10 plus 3, it's lethal, yeah.
Hit with the 3-1, we can count later. Did you prep the second? Yeah.
Yeah, that coin is lethal as well.
Nice.
Let's be a shaman.
Good job, boys.
So everything is holding out as expected. This is the first time where like every matchup went according to on paper.
Nope. It's happened a few times, yeah. A lot of the 6-5 matchups have been counter deck into counter deck into counter deck into counter deck into counter deck. It doesn't usually happen with Alliance, is the thing.
Yeah.
Alliance, you mentioned earlier, they either sweep or get swept. Last week they went down 3-0 in a series and then won 6 games in a row with Warlock to win the match. And then, of course, back in week number 1, they just lost 6 games to Paladin when they got 6-0 in their first match. So, yeah, they tie up the series, but now their rogue is about to get shamaned, most likely, by Luminosity.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see anything other than Shaman here. And with Zalay piloting it, who's played Aggro Shaman a ton to top legend, I assume that this one's going to be tough for Rogue. But if there was an opportunity for Rogue to have a breakthrough, now is the time. Because if Rogue can beat the Shaman, which it totally can, it's not unwinnable by any means, then it can face against Paladin and Druid, 2 very good matches for Rogue.
Yeah.
And then Rogue's able to effectively just close out the series.
But let's look at it from the other side. If Rogue loses, then they have
Wow.
Then they only have what's left for them is what? Warlock and Mage?
They have Mage against the Shaman, and then against Mage.
But then Luminosity has Druid.
And then they play Warlock against Druid.
And even if they win, they go up against Paladin.
Yeah.
So it's really tough, bad situation for them.
Must-win situation.
And we could see Luminosity. This is the same super aggressive aggro shaman that we saw them play last week. Very reminiscent of, 5 months ago, prior to Mean Streets of Gadgetzan and prior to BlizzCon also. Back when, Doomhammer was a staple. They also ran Double Rockbiter last week and Earthshock. So, actually kept Earthshock in the open hand. The only card they threw away was Doomhammer. Interesting. Flame Took picked up.
Man, that is a ton of damage. Rockbiter, Doomhammer. Even after the nerf. Stuff like this is why I still have a hard time believing that we've seen the last of some of these Shaman cards that get nerfed. Or not Shaman, but like some of the cards that get nerfed.
Yeah.
Like, will we actually never, ever see Spirit Claws ever again? Maybe, maybe not.
Probably will.
Probably, it might be. We'll find out. In the meantime, let's check in with some of these teams here. Let's start with Luminosity here in game number 7.
Vista.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Totem.
Yeah. And if we roll spell power, I think we just get them for 3.
Unlucky.
They suck. And this is how you lose the favorable.
No, dude, we're actually fine.
We're not dead or anything, but this is
mildly unfortunate. Actually, if he hits, yeah, it's unfortunate. Even for him, fanning is like really good for us.
So many options.
You mean it makes them do something, right?
Yeah, like that's my idea here. It makes them actually.
If we don't play anything, then they might play the same.
There's so many things that they would have done.
No. We can just attack dagger this turn. Then next turn, we can go questing conceal and then go for prep something Edwin.
Yeah, it's possible.
That has to be a ton better. We still have the prep.
I don't think it's a ton better.
I feel very uncomfortable just playing the questing here.
What do you think about her?
I like questing.
I also like questing here.
God.
I like questing for sure. Like that play just means that they're not gonna do anything this turn. Like there's so many things they would have done this turn on 2 mana. Like that's like
they have the coin. I don't think this screws up their mana utilization a whole lot.
No, what I'm saying is we could just Horse Rider. They have to dagger it, or they play Tomb Pillager. If they play Tomb Pillager, we get Flame Tongue, Horse Rider, Small Time, Spirit Claws. We get to do a bunch of damage. I think we just Horse Rider it, is my instinct.
Why is that better than Buccaneer Flame Tongue?
They always have Pillager when they make this play.
Oh, you're actually right, Eli. Yeah, we're just patches and.
Okay, yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, we just patches Flame Tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we thinking about? Yeah. Yeah, this is literally the same thing, just a little better. Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, positioning failfish.
Well, they don't have the Pillager, so nope it off on the read. They were hoping for a huge Edwin play with the questing adventure, and ended up backfiring.
There's a ton of things that kill that questing, though. There's a lot of merit in what Orange was saying, that he feels really uncomfortable playing the questing because that can be a win condition in this matchup, especially if you combine it with an Edwin. But what Kaka and Powder were worried about is that their hand is just so poor at the moment. If they don't go for the questing now, they may run out of time to even play it at all if they want to wait for like the ideal moment to use it. And now what do? Go for the biggest Edwin that they can possibly make, which isn't even that big, and it's just going to be met by an Earthshock.
Choose soon.
Or do they dagger and not do anything?
I mean, they could play everything in their hand, essentially, except for conceal. But it looks like they're just going to be passing if they don't do anything this soon. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. And Delay is smiling because they held on to that Earthshock in the mulligan. They're even going full out with...
Yeah, this is going to be lights out real quick. I mean, Alliance tried, and Lord knows they tried real hard, but this Earthshock is going to stop them dead in their tracks.
Yeah, let's go listen into Luminosity.
And...
and dude...
Wait, I like coining the Argent Horse.
We coin a hero power, or ooh, we could coin the Horse Rider. I kind of like coin hero power plus Duke.
Yeah,
he showed he has no way to deal with a...
Okay, so we start with the hero power because we get spell power.
Yeah.
We're good.
Spicy. All right.
I think we coined the Spirit Claws and try to start getting him. Because we want to have minions, right?
Yes. Yeah, we were always doing that.
We weren't gonna coin the Spirit Claws if we didn't get spell power, I don't think.
Yeah, we had to kill his guy.
We had to kill his guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now we just get 3 damage.
4.
Yeah, I that.
Pushes 1 next turn as well.
Well, we get 3 extra damage is what I'm saying compared to hitting his guy. Because we rolled the right totem because we're good at the game.
Okay.
We would have lost this game no matter what.
I need Auctioneer top tick or Azure top tick.
This is the first week. Everything's gone so right. Like, nobody's lost a favorable. And it feels so good.
Yeah, just...
You're just waiting for it to happen, and it just doesn't. And now I'm jinxing us for when we lose.
We're really jinxing this matchup so much.
Well, we're not jinxing this one.
No, just like the next couple games are going to be interesting, you know?
Yeah, we're jinxing those for sure.
All right, so Horse Rider is probably better than...
Yeah, just
totem.
So, only thing to think about is, like, if they go Drake off the top into Prep Fan, right?
We beat that. Let's go.
Yeah, we beat everything. Just punch them a bunch, delay, take the wheel.
Let's go on the left.
Yeah, I guess.
I think so too. If he fans and clears our flame tongue, then it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters from here. They're dead.
Good. Didn't even have to show him Doomhammer or Rock Biter.
I mean, they saw an Argent Horse. Good talk.
Yeah, everything's holding serve, volley for volley so far. So out goes the Rogue and in comes the Mage. And that's going to put Alliance for a tough spot for the rest of the series if they don't win this one. I mean, it already is looking really tricky because of Druid being saved for so long. It's partially why I thought Druid being saved for the end is also super powerful because you eliminate so many of its bad matchups. It's so polarized. It's amazing against certain decks, and it's pretty awful against others. And when you have Druid left here from Luminosity up against Paladin and Warlock and Mage, that's a trio of decks. It's not good for Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. They have just Mage and Warlock.
Just Mage and Warlock left, yeah. And, you know, this aggro shaman's a little bit different than what you normally see and what is normally considered to be a poor matchup against Arena Mage. Or not poor matchup, but, you know, favorable for Arena Mage. This is a lot of damage from hand. There's 2 Doomhammers in here. There's 2 Rockbiters. There's a lot more burst. Mages are really good at dealing with, like, boards. They have a lot of removal spells. But they don't have much in the ways of, like, preventing burn unless they have, like, Reno. So we'll have to see if this matchup is going to be just as good for them as, say, the normal aggro shaman build is for them. And that's if they choose the Mage, which we're assuming that they will.
Yep. You know, a couple of important tidbits at the end of that game being talked about by Chalky and Zalay, they don't know that they have Doomhammer. And they saw Argent Horse Rider, which already implies that they're very burn heavy or just like rush heavy and less board centric. But Doomhammer and the Rockbiter allows you to have so much extended burst and range. If you combine that with Sir Finley Murgleton, it's just going to get out of control really fast. So let's go into game number 8 here. Coming down to the wire. Last few games of this intense best of 11. Remember, winner goes up 3-2 in the standings and effectively enter a 5-way tie for first place. And then the loser will be mucking it down with the bottom 3.
Yep. Luminosity would go up to second place as far as game score goes as well behind G2. Since in their losses, they tend to win a lot more than the other 3-2 teams. So
yeah, it's a big jump from 5th to 2nd.
Yeah, so this is an important win for both these teams, and we'll see. I mean, this matchup, traditionally, a lot of players like the Reno Mage in, and I think that has held true over the course of the Trinity Series. We've seen Reno Mage used as a counter for Shaman. We've seen it have a lot of success against Shaman. But this is a different type of Shaman.
Well, definitely don't want to see Patch in the opening hand. I believe the South Sea deckhand summoning the Patches is much more preferable.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty spicy curve.
It's spicy, but it's a little awkward because Totem Golem like blocks the Feral Spirits. So you play Flame Tongue Totem instead, and then Feral Spirits is off curve. So it's not exactly the most beautiful unless you want to play Flame Tongue immediately. But it seems pretty likely that the Alliance will at least make sure that Flame Tongue shut off. Actually, do you use the coin to shut off? I mean, you're saving a lot of damage by coining out the ping.
If your next turn is Frostbolt, the only thing that you need to keep in mind is, well, you need Coin Reno to win the game should you draw it. But your curve is pretty set right now. It's ping into Frostbolt, into Arcane Elect, into Kazakus, into Potion, most likely. So let's go and listen to Luminosity and see what they're planning for this turn 2.
Oh. You know what would be a better card? No House Mana Star.
That's an interesting if statement you got there.
Did they have a 1 and 4 to get healing totem? And then they have to
Kazakus for the Totem Golem.
Yeah, but I mean, our next turn is gonna be Babbling Book Ping. So Frostbolt is actually really good here.
But
also with Frostbolting.
Why are you assuming that our next turn is gonna be Babbling Book Ping?
What else is our next turn gonna be? Arcane Intellect? If we just ping, sure. And he gets 9 damage in before we can play Kazakus. Potion.
I mean, they could not Totem next turn. They could play something that we can Frostbolt.
Yeah.
It's true.
Or something that we can ping.
I'd like pinging.
I think so. I think you hit.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think we hit as well.
Ooze is too good otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get the South Sea out with the Flame Tongue, right?
Oh.
And like, yeah.
Really? Hello?
Sorry, I was muted that whole time. My bad. So yeah, we just Jade Claws and 5 them.
Yes.
Yeah. Good talk, good talk.
I was talking through all the things you were saying, yeah.
Shaman takes into a skill. Lol.
Wow, Chalky, bold words. Simultaneously triggering half of the Hearthstone community while also doing justice to a lot of the ladder warriors out there.
I don't know. I think Chalky would make a perfectly good high school teacher because I just don't believe anything he's talking about.
Hey.
Seriously, though. don't take Chalky's word seriously. Like, you take it with a grain of salt. You know, both metaphorically and figuratively.
And literally.
And literally. As in, every time you listen to Chalky, put some salt on your hand and lick it. Well, you're going to look at the state of the board here, and it looks like Alliance has been pretty conservative with that Frostbolt. They've been pinging every single turn they can, really maximizing their value. They were kind of talking earlier about whether or not they wanted to Frostbolt and ping the Totem Golem over 2 turns. The debate was that they needed to keep their Frostbolt for flexibility in case another bigger threat came out. As a result, though, Totem Golem is able to chip in the damage with the with Kazakus coming up means that it gets around 9 damage, maybe even 12 if Kazakus doesn't pick up the right card.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty heavily reliant on Alliance picking up a good Kazakus potion. Even then, they're going to need Ice Block. They're going to need Reno. This is a lot of damage coming at their face. 9 this turn, plus a Doomhammer as a follow-up for Luminosity.
Yeah, it's so much damage.
They're already at 14. If they pick Kazakus this turn, that's going to be another 9 pointed at their face.
Well, Dirty Rat. Dirty Rat's a choice here. You can also Frostbolt and Ping. So let's go ahead and listen to Alliance and see what the options that they're choosing this turn.
Maybe Kazakus.
Frostbolt Ping, probably.
What to do?
And the question is which one we Frostbolt.
Oh, we could also go Dirty Rat, Frostbolt, and then Kazakus into 1 mana next turn.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're always going to go Kazakus for 1 mana with this outcome.
Yeah, but we could Frostbolt the Totem Golem if we go 1 mana.
Yeah, of course.
There's nothing too scary. You can't get off that.
I like the Dirty Rat Frostbolt.
Yeah, I also like it. It's sort of
just push through with Doomhammer.
It does push 2 damage, but that's fine. Pushes 4 otherwise.
So Frostbolt the Totem?
Yeah,
Totem Golem?
the Totem. Yeah, Totem Golem.
Oh, interesting. That's
going to be good next turn.
Yeah.
Strap on.
So if they have Reno and they ping here,
then we...
Kazakus.
Nothing. There's no out.
Yeah.
No deckhand, right?
We're out.
Did we
of
do
this.
both? Okay.
Yeah.
3rd deckhand?
You know, we could always draw the 3rd deckhand, Zoe.
Alright, we're not killing him before Reno. We're going to have to kill him after Reno this game.
Unless they
what is does a Dirty Rat like tell us anything? Like, they're either desperate to get to Reno or they're desperate because they don't have Reno and they're trying to come up with ways to win.
Deal 3.
It's more likely to get deal 3 or to deal 2 to everything than 4 armor if we want the 4 armor next.
Right. So we pick armor now, we have 2 chances.
Yeah, exactly. Or, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or, I like
we
that.
Could also just...
We can res a Dirty Rat also.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oops.
Use freeze. Go for it. Do it. At least we froze it. That's something.
I was a little bit scared there. Like the potion took so long to generate in my hand.
It definitely doesn't.
Nope.
Definitely doesn't.
Alright, so next turn is Blizzard, Reno, and you think we have a read on not Reno?
I think we have a read on not Reno, so hold on. Can we... Oh, there's no way
we need the top deck.
Yeah, but like if they top deck Reno, it sucks. Like for us either way. So what about... There's no way we can set up lethal through Blizzard. We would just Feral Spirit
Buccaneer, far left, Horse Rider, far right, go face.
Do we go face twice? Or do we trade into Kazakus? It doesn't make much sense to trade into Kazakus, right?
It doesn't?
It kind of does.
We lose 4 damage to
Alright, you like Buccaneer far left, Feral far right.
No, not Feral.
Horse Rider. Push however much you think is correct. If you think all face is right, or if you think trading is right, both are fine. They have merits.
I'm trusting your no Reno read. This is correct
go
against the non-Reno hands.
Yeah. Like we can set up for lethal top decks this way against Blizzard. That's my main instinct here.
We have.
Well then.
Yeah, that's quite a draw. Reno on 6, man. It's exactly what they're looking for. And maybe that ends up being the game there for Luminosity.
That's brutal.
I wonder.
Luminosity can't really come back if that's the case. They do have a decent board, but then Flame Strike happens. I do wonder what Alliance is thinking about. This is a no-brainer here.
They're gonna be rich.
That means we have a tied 4-4 game. If Luminosity can't come back here, Jade Lightning's a nice pickup. They have 8, 12. They actually still have a decent amount of damage. They have 16 damage right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we're calling this too fast.
There is a chance, but Flame Strike's going to completely wipe out their board, and then they're 100% reliant on top deck damage, which if they pick up a second Doomhammer, Rockbiter, Lava Burst, they might have a chance. But when Alliance has Kazakus into Reno, you're usually not... I don't know what the exact percentage is on how often you win as Aggro in this matchup when the mage has Kazakus and Reno turns 4 and turn 6, but it's got to be pretty low.
All right, all in, baby. The Flame Strike's gonna ruin all that, and I guess Luminosity could get Finley into Life Tap and start getting some damage that way.
Yeah.
Rockbiters would be huge. Not really going to be it, so have to imagine Flame Strike coming out here for an Alliance. Flame Strike, most likely Kazaku's attacking because you want to start getting attacking damage in, but maybe the 4 damage versus 3 isn't that big of a difference.
I wonder.
Do you see no competitive line here?
No. I'm just looking at outs for Luminosity. They need Lava Burst into Lava Burst or second Doomhammer into Rockbiter. Rockbiter into Lava Burst. I don't know. There's kind of a few amount of outs for them, especially since Alliance actually has a lot of burn in their deck, so they can start pushing lots of damage. Well,
okay. I mean, that is a lot of damage.
Rockbiter off the top. They'd have enough mana for it going to the next turn if they just equip the Doomhammer. Actually, probably not equip the Doomhammer, because then they would open themselves up to Acidic Swamp Ooze. So if they push 2 this turn, yeah, it looks like they realize that that's going to be their only out. So not going to equip the Doomhammer. Don't want to open themselves up to the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Waiting for that Rockbiter. Still a chance for Luminosity unless Alliance picks up Ice Block. Or some type of heal effect from Cabal Courier. There's actually quite a few options that they can get here. So let's take a listen into Alliance and hear their thoughts.
If we look for something, if we go 19.
If we go Intellect into Burglar Pool, we have.
I think Cabal is more likely to find something than Arcane Intellect.
But what about the Archmage? Just Archmage, no?
Yeah, we could Archmage.
Yeah, we're trying to see if we set up lethal even without just playing Archmage.
Yeah, if there's anything better than playing Archmage. We have 1 taunt. We have 1 heal.
I wonder.
We have Ice Block. So we have 3 cards that are good, right? If we Arcane Intellect. I mean, we always go hit Kazakas and hit Reno. So then
if they don't get taunt to him, then Burglar Bullet Cabal Courier still sets up lethal.
Yeah, it does. So go for Courier Bully, I guess.
Nothing's good here.
No, just go for that.
If they get taunt now.
All right, so that gives them a coin.
Yeah, we have to play it.
We play both, for sure.
Yeah, so you don't die to Fireball.
Yeah, and we can still play literally everything in our deck with a totem up. All right, baby.
Four, 9, 11, 13.
It's not enough.
Not enough red.
Should go AI. Can draw block. Block vendor.
What to do?
Yeah, AI.
What to do?
Vendor's
got
good.
vendor.
Yeah,
Vendor
it's
dead
not
to
the
rock better.
Yeah, it's the only, but that's the only out. Go vendor.
Elpar log burst.
Yes.
And do we play the Cabal guy? How am I
I don't think
trading?
so. We can go Greater Arcane Missiles Fireball next turn. So trade with the 3/1 and the 2/2.
Beat this Reno scum. Deliver Rockbiter unto us. Hallowed be your name.
Oh, we can get tapped.
So we Finley tap Rockbiter, right?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Who's up for an adventure?
No.
All right. Can we live a turn?
Yeah, we can live. Do you Horse Rider the 3/1?
Yeah.
The cavalry's here.
Man.
Would Athenidas have been lethal when they played Ferals? I don't think so, right?
We can go back and count on that.
Yeah, then it's just better.
I can BM with the missiles. I would.
Don't BM.
It doesn't matter.
We can still play.
Okay, good Reno top deck.
Good Reno top take. Good that they didn't top take Rookbiter.
So they pick Druid now.
Another game in the books, TJ. Back and forth we go. The ebb and flow is strong with this series.
Yes, it is. And even Chaki's prayer to the shaman gods was not enough to deliver Rockbiter unto them.
What happens when you meme too hard, kids? Stay in school. Stay out of memes.
Yeah, you know what they always say. If you meme too much, your face stays that way. So.
Yeah, as you can tell with those pictures, of course. So this brings us to the Druid, the first time you see the Druid today, and that is 8 classes that would be represented. How amazing is that?
Yeah, we could go all the way to a final game where it's just counter, because this time it's got to be Druid for Luminosity.
Do you think that there's a chance that brings Zoo? Zoo's good against Druid.
I doubt it.
Paladin versus Zoo.
They had a 6-0 last week with Reno Lock.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they did think Zoo was better, it's still just like based off of feeling, I would bring Reno just because of how much success they had it. So, doubt it. There have been some teams that have experimented with Zoo. It has not been successful at all. But maybe it'll find its place soon. Who knows?
Yeah, cool. Well, looking forward to it and seeing what these guys have in store for game number 9 now. Druid definitely seems like a good choice. Don't think Paladin's actually that good against Mage. So if Luminosity loses this, then Alliance once again will be in a driver's seat. Any team that can win 2 in a row will be in a dominant position from this point on.
Yep.
Any team that can win 2 in a row.
Any team that could have won 2 in a row the entire series would have been in a great spot.
But
if anybody was able to win an unfavorable at some point during the series, they would have probably just run away with it.
Yeah.
But alas, that is not the way it has gone. And even the teams are kind of talking about it. It hasn't happened. It's happened a few times, but it hasn't happened very often. I think it's happened twice where we've gone almost a full series with back and forth. Usually when it gets to like a smaller amount of decks is when it starts to switch in the other direction where you start to not get favorables. You get like even matchups. But I feel like Luminosity did a great job of keeping a hold of their decks that they knew would be good in the long run based off of what decks they know Alliance usually brings.
Yeah, it's very back and forth this series. Very good stuff. Great stuff, in fact, so I would say. So going into the game number 9, we're expecting Druid. We're expecting Alliance to lose to that. But at the same time, Reno Mage is not like as bad as it might seem on paper if you build it correctly. However, I don't know if Alliance has that right build. I mean, they do have the Antonitis, but do they have those other cards that they really need to help accentuate the matchup, or are they stuck playing Reno Mage as a generic thing, which makes them a little bit more vulnerable to Jade Druid because it's not specialized against the control style stuff? I personally like the burn side of Reno a little bit better in this matchup because you primarily are able to leverage an Alexstrasza a lot better. That doesn't mean you don't run minions. It just means that you run a little bit less minions and less like Manic Soulcaster stuff. And I think that gives Reno Mage a strong fighting chance.
Yeah, there's also, just if you run an early curve Reno and get on the board quickly, you can start pressuring, which means that you can sometimes put the Druid in a position where they have to use their resources inefficiently. So, all right, game number 9, here we go. It is going to be Druid for Luminosity. It's Jade Druid, which we've come to expect. And Wild Growth Jade will open a hand for Luminosity. Pretty good stuff. But let's go ahead and listen in to Luminosity and see what they're thinking during these mulligans.
It's like not even our best 6.
There's better stuff. So
5s aren't that good. I can see keeping only Wild Growth and
yeah, that would be my keep.
Like if we draw all spells, it's really bad, but I guess we can just go for card draw. Drake's Nourish.
Yeah, so we're looking for like Jade Blossom, Jade Spirit, Drake Nourish. That's enough cards to pitch the Behemoth,
Blossom,
right?
We're not looking for Blossom. Blossom is bad.
Why is Blossom bad?
I think it's better than Behemoth. I hope we didn't fork keep. Okay, good.
Okay.
Like, I'm debating saving the coin here.
I think
I like coin Wild Growth into Jade Blossom into potential 5-drop. We'll cycle that letter Wild Growth with Gadget in the late game.
Yeah.
This is very not optimal.
Other plays like Idle into Coin Blossom, which doesn't give us the out of hitting.
It would be Idle into Wild Growth into Blossom, I think.
Yeah.
Also makes him ping on 3. Like, it's hard for him to ping on 3.
We're just growth, right?
Yes. This is very optimal. Like, there's some risk of us getting blown out by drawing horribly, but it's not very high.
You need to at least be able to answer Auctioneer when you play Dirty Red, I think.
Yeah.
So if you have like Acolyte, you can maybe go like Dirty Red if we have Torch or something.
Yeah. I slam every deck.
Arguably, yes, we do.
Okay. I know.
Pain, speak to me.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Could just mulch that.
Mulch can be important for dealing with Antonitis and such later.
Yeah. You're thinking we want to cycle the Wrath, but
it's actually really tough.
I think Wrathing it is fine and making a 2/2. Punching him.
I don't like playing the Jade Idol.
Why not?
Auctioneer.
It's Gadget.
I don't think we're gonna be gadgeting.
We're not going to be gadgeting anytime soon, but...
Right. I'd rather buff up potential Aya, potential Jade Behemoth, put a thing on the board.
It's very unlikely we draw those, though. Very, very unlikely.
No, but we just have a bunch of stuff. Like, so we agree on Wrath, right?
We agree on Wrath, and I definitely agree with the Jade Idol for a 2/2. It's a 2/2 and buffing up all of our follow-up plays. Like,
okay.
We're thinking we're saving the Gadget for 10 with Wild Growth, right? Like,
Yes, like it's gonna be a long time, and we need to have some pressure. Like we are not in a position where we can just do nothing over and over.
That's a great point from Chalky. You know, they had good ramp early on. They don't really have much follow-up to it, which makes things pretty awkward. Dirty Rat Doomsayer is a potential combo for Alliance, but it has the inherent risk of pulling out that Auctioneer, which would give Luminosity that gas that they need.
I wonder.
Yeah, Luminosity is going to be worried about card resources as time goes on. In the meantime, Alliance needs to make sure to stabilize. I'm not sure how good the Doomsayer is in this position, but it seems all right.
Yeah, just going to go for it. This would be a great Nourish turn if Luminosity were to be able to pick one up. Living Roots. Ooh. Living Roots, not so much.
Well, I guess you can just... No, you got to save Wild Growth, right, for the Gadget Stand? Ah, this
Probably.
is annoying.
They're still 4 turns away.
That means you're holding on to it for 4 turns, though?
Yeah.
Is that really the answer? And you heard what they said, too, and I completely agree. Mulch needs to come later on for bigger targets. So this Doomsayer was impeccably timed by Alliance, and right now, they get full initiative with Azure Drake, or something even better. Maybe the Burgly Bully is even better, because Druid has so many spells, usually.
Yeah, it would take multiple spells usually outside of a Mulch to clear off a Burgly Bully. So they are going to go with the Burgly Bully, but let's go and listen into Alliance and hear what they think of this early game.
Auctioneer a while ago.
The Druid has played double Auctioneer, double Mulch.
Okay, yeah, then it's kind of... I don't think they play.
If he drops Emperor, we have 2 targets for Rag.
I mean,
if he Emperors, we're in bad shape regardless.
Yeah. So
I'm
you're
thinking-
hoping he has nothing?
No, I'm thinking even if the Emperors were still just like slamming Rag into it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking we're saving the Mulch to deal with Antonitis because that actually kills us, which a Burgly Bully doesn't. But you could mulch it.
I say we mulch.
Okay, I trust your instinct.
I mean,
like we're going Mulch on 7, Rag on 8, something on 9, and then Gadget on 10. So we don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
we don't really ever find time to kill the bully unless Rag hits it.
Okay.
Do we roots? Probably not.
Oh, not at all. That's for Gadget, right?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Like, what can their hand be? Auctioneers?
It can be Auctioneer, Innovate, Wild Growth stuff.
Yeah. So maybe next we play Azure Drake, hope it doesn't get answered, then next turn we play Dirty Rat to try and maybe get their Auctioneer.
But honestly, the card on the far right, well, actually, a lot of their cards could just be minions that they don't like. They don't want to play Azure Drake pass into the bully, I guess.
But is Azure Drake better than second rate Bruiser here? Yeah, it is.
Bruiser is pretty good.
Big Dirty Rat.
Dirty Rat into Poly.
If it gets Auctioneer, would probably torch him, but it's an option. It's not a must though.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Like they could have Go Rage as well.
Okay, it's pretty sweet to Dirty Rat here. Yeah, if we get Auctioneer, that's so good.
We can always do next turn though.
It's not optimal, but we can poly it.
Well, let's poly that.
Not bad.
Yeah, the Auctioneer was a really sick pull though.
No, pretty big pull for Alliance.
Yeah, massive.
But I think Auctioneer would have been better for them because that's basically Luminosity's only hope at getting that engine going for the coming turns. But this is not too bad for Luminosity. They have Jade Spirit. They're coming up on turn 10, which means they can get that Auctioneer going.
It is starting to get pretty bad, though. Like,
yeah.
They need to get ahead on board. Otherwise, Mage is going to be able to flip the initiative on them. Right now, Mage is doing an okay job at controlling state of the board. But when they start doing late game stuff, it starts getting out of control very fast.
Yeah. It looks like just the hero power to follow this up. Living Roots going to want to be saved for that auctioneer, most likely. All minions right now, except for the Blizzard and the Forgotten Torch for Alliance. Let's see. They can go for Cabal Courier and try and pick up something. They could go for Forgotten Torch Pig, but I think they want to try and definitely be the initiators here, the aggressors, because they've smelled a little bit of weakness from Luminosity. So Torch it is. But let's go ahead and listen into Luminosity. See how they're planning coming up on this auctioneer turn.
Pretty good draw.
I think we're gonna play those.
Play
We
stuff.
could go Drake Roots.
I don't like that as much.
No.
We've got auctioneer.
We get Swipe, or Wrath.
So we just Drake.
Let's Drake.
Probably Wrath though. How bad is their Flame Strike on us?
Pretty bad, because then we don't have a way to...
We have Auctioneer, Wrath, Roots.
Yeah, but we want a Wild Growth. I think we'd Wrath.
I'm fine with that.
Do we punch their guy?
I don't think so.
No.
You don't have Firelance. Firelance was better, right? So.
Yeah, they kind of showed that they circled the deal with the Drake. They had to use their coin. I don't know.
They don't have. What do we do? Do we ever Refreshment Fireball? Or do we just go Cabal? See if we find something and play second rate Bruiser?
That plays a lot into Swipe if they have it.
Yeah, it does.
I kind of like using the Fireball, but I don't see any other line. I don't know how likely we are to find like a 2 damage spell if we go Bran.
And the things we have King Crush for Auctioneer.
Yeah, we have King Crush for Auctioneer.
I mean, or just, it's actually pretty unlikely that it kills the Vendor.
Yeah.
Vendor Fireball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but...
The thing is, the Azure Drake also threatens a trade into the Dirty Rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's just wait for...
All of our other plays do nothing on board, so...
Yeah.
Funnel cakes! Get your funnel cakes here!
Alright, let's draw a 6-drop, please.
Wishful thinking.
I think we Swipe, play 4-drop.
Swipe the 2/4.
Okay.
Makes some sense, right? Like then we get to Roots to clean up the.
Do we put the first half the Wild Growth in our deck? Like play the first half the Wild Growth, so we have more mana with the Auctioneer.
So what if he Alexes us next turn? That's like the scary thing, right?
Yeah, then I like using the Wild Growth. First half.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. So Jade Spirit Swipe for Wild Growth.
We have a lot of 3 mana cards that we could pair with the Living Roots as well. And I think he would have saved the point for Alex if he had it, though.
I just like it. Like I think it's just the best, right? We're very likely to draw into
enough. We have 2 nourishes in our deck.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if the mage can come back and come back into this game here. Jade Spirit still very much alive despite having low on resources.
Yeah. Luminosity about to go crazy with this engine, and you can sort of hear when Luminosity, when they sort of flip the switch from memeing to like actually trying to go through each and every play in their hand. You know, they can tell that the series is going to be much tougher if they lose this match. And this was all part of their plan, to just be able to counter. You could tell by what decks they queued that they knew that they had an advantage as long as they just won the favorables, even if they lost the favorables from the other side of the board. So Gonna go with a huge turn next turn. See if Alliance can pick up anything good from this Cabal Courier. Shadow Word Horror, Inkmaster Salia, Kazakis.
Well, looks like they're going to just set up the ice block here. No Kazakis potion just yet. And Gadstan can finally start drawing those cards here.
I got the best deals anywhere.
And saving this Gadstan so he can get Jade Idols. Ooh. Awkward.
There's some super good draws in the deck right now. Innervate would be incredible.
Man, you don't get to really choose, though. You have to kind of play onto the board here.
Yeah.
You're playing into AoE that the Reno Mage can have, but you don't have much of a choice. If you play it too slow, you're going to play it directly into the win conditions. That's why you got to go faster.
Yeah. Looks like this has got to be a feral raid. So the question is, for armor, or do you remove one of these minions off the board?
Why not just hero power to 3-1 instead of feral rage?
To get another card?
Yeah, it seems like they're going to grind you out of value, so you got to get value out of yourself.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. And Luminosity actually has been running double auction. Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Double Kazakis. And they also have Inkmaster Salia, so next turn they could go Inkmaster Salia into a 10-mana potion, which is a huge amount of tempo, especially if they can get one of the res potions. So we'll see. King Crush, though, is going to be the only way that they can sort of guarantee that they deal with the Auctioneer this turn. Those Kazakai aren't going anywhere, but...
Kazakuses. Kind of like caucuses.
I wonder.
Kazakai.
Kazaken.
The Kazakh.
I like it.
All right, well, here we go. Kazakis. Super exclusive Kazakis, listen in.
Sorry.
I'm on
Res?
Oh, we haven't played Doomsayer. But
Yeah, that's free.
Delay or cheap?
Delayed. And Blizzard.
Yeah, sorry, I should have played the other one. I wasn't thinking about it.
It's fine.
Like, we can play this one with... If we do Sheep, we can't play it with Solia.
Right.
I mean...
You want hero power?
Like, he's gonna use a potion, right? Just a 10 mana pot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we save the
I think we save it.
Okay.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Like, we have such a sick turn here, though. Like, second rate Ink Master, summon 3, deal 8.
Would we delete to the Bran?
We need to delete to the Bran.
Or we could just ping. We don't have to play second rate Bruiser here. And then we can ping the Bran with the 3/3 and kill the 5/5.
Seems
like
a bit better. That seems a bit better to me.
Yeah, I like that. It's so.
Yeah, because it just dies to the 5/5 on board.
Yeah.
It's a little. It's like 40% that we summon Doomsayer.
It's not the worst thing ever.
Doomsayer is not the end of the world.
So Inkmaster, deal 8 to the 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embrace the power of the Cabal.
Runs out on me.
Good. Nice.
Hey!
Oh man, they get to draw a card.
Do they?
Yeah.
And the Doomsayer.
No, they have to kill the Bran.
Wait. Oh, wait. Why? Why do they have to kill Bran?
What if they clear? What if we clear the board? Do it.
Wait, so I can't tell. Are we happy about this outcome?
My heart. Oh, do it. Oh no, we do the worst. We do the worst cards.
Hey, at least we didn't draw in that order.
Oh jeez.
Go face,
All right.
hero power.
Yeah. Oh jeez. Do we Feral Rage for armor at all?
We might have to kill the Alex.
We have Fandral. We have Fandral.
Yeah, but we might have to kill the Alex with our face, right?
Yeah, which means saving it.
We have
for
a lot of
Fandral.
innervate mana. We don't need to.
We have a lot
three.
of innervates. Oh, dude, they double discovered double Reno effect. What the? Oh my god. They haven't even used the Reno card yet.
For prelims prep?
Oh my god.
At least now our draws are like very unlikely to be bad.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that Kazakus potion, not quite what was planned.
Yeah, they were laughing at the fact that they got Igmaster Salia and Kazakus, 2 Reno cards from the Cabal Courier, from the brand Cabal Courier. Iker Von Death is, again, risky because now you got 2 Doomsayers in the pool, but I guess it's more diluted.
It's more diluted because you got more of everything, but you have 2 in the pool of, what, like 9 or 10?
Yeah.
So, man, there's some crazy odds happening over here.
I mean, now Luminosity has some huge draws still left in their deck. They have double Jade Behemoth. They have Auctioneer with double Innervate in their hands. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the huge draws, but their deck is actually pretty small right now.
Yeah, they could summon a few of these things, but they definitely want to clear that Emperor as well.
Yeah. 6 cards left. One of those is an Auctioneer. 2 of those are Jade Behemoths. I think a Wrath and an Aya Blackpaw as well. And a Fandral. There you go. Boom. 6 cards.
Yeah, I mean, they
solved it.
And like Infinity Jade Idols, they'll be fine over time. Just need to withstand the pressure here.
Yeah.
And with that last Kazakus potion, that's all they're really afraid of because they've got Jade Golems and Spades over time, of course.
Yeah.
And they only can summon 1 at a time. That's really annoying. They already used their Gadget Sand Auctioneer, so they can't cycle it. It would have been amazing if they had Gadget Sand, Innervate Jade Idol, because then it'd be like Gadget Sand, Jade Idol, shuffle a bunch, summon it. Would have gotten nutty really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Kazakus Potion, which is an AoE clear, plus summon 3 minis, you said? Well, let's go ahead and check in with Alliance, as in they're coming up on a pivotal turn here. They need to find a way to win the game soon, or else the series might belong to Luminosity.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
King Crush, face, face, face.
Yep.
Yep.
It's okay. That's just an Alexstrasza. All right. Good things are happening. So it's not like we shuffle first.
We draw first.
Yeah.
Wait.
We draw first. We have Fandral in the deck.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god, we didn't draw Mulch. So Fandral
kept the swipe.
So Fandral, Jade Idol, Innervate, swipe. We die to Pyroblast. Are we happy with that? Do we want to do something else? We could.
I don't think we play around Pyroblast.
Well, we could just put a taunt in the way of King Crush. Does that make any sense?
We can't do that. Oh, you mean just to. Jeez.
What if we innervate Jade Behemoth?
Wait, how does he kill us though? There's just no way besides the.
What do you think? What do you guys think? We have 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
I like taunt.
Just taunt? So Vate taunt?
Yeah, Vate taunt, trade the 3/3, right?
Probably.
This is a little icky, but
I think it's better than dying to Pyroblast.
like, we get to use the Feral Rage with Fandral now, if that's relevant.
And he might have to trade if he has a bad hand.
I mean, he has a potion.
Yeah.
The order doesn't matter with the Arcane Blast.
No. I mean, we have to do it. Even if we get... Yeah, it's just we have to.
Still have a Roaring Torch and Antonitis left in the deck. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
they probably don't have Feral Rage. Just do the potion. There's nothing bad, right?
No, Doomsayer is still like decent. So.
Yeah, but there's nothing that changes the order or anything like the Arcane Blast.
No. It's nothing bad. Come on, Joey. I hit face. I guess we don't use the thing.
Well, it heals us for 7.
Yeah, it's worth it to Aya for sure, Zloy.
Wait, do they run Anton?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have them all still.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
We
nice.
didn't need that damage.
We're not using that.
Yeah. Aya Feral Rage. No reason to bait. No reason to bait the hero. No reason.
No reason?
No
Just
reason.
No, like,
no
multi-turn burns?
It's not worth it compared to Fandral, Innervate, Idol, Behemoth.
Yeah, you're right.
Or we need to fit in a mulch too sometimes.
Golems are a girl's best friend.
Alright, we're at 13 and we've got a dream.
Rip Aya.
This is the worst game of Hearthstone I've ever played.
Yeah, it's
I guess that sums it up for Chucky in the game. They had a rough start. Pretty much all the random effects from Alliance kind of screwed them a little bit. Double Reno effect cards from Cabal Courier, King Crush from the Mulch. But they still seem to be in a position where this game is definitely winnable.
Yeah, they're not going to die to fatigue, so that's nice. But if Alliance picks up Antonites the next couple turns, that could be it, because that's their second Feral Rage.
Yeah.
So their life gain possibilities outside their hero power is always going to be around here, and if Alliance can pick up one more Fireball source... Did they play Fireball straight up yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing to consider is they might look like they have gotten unlucky with Doomsayers, but we did the math, and it's over a 50% chance that would happen because let's say assume 2 out of 10 minions were the Doomsayer that died. I think it was a little bit more than that, but if there was like 11 minions, it'd be about 50%. So it's like half the time that happens, even though it's pretty funny that it happened twice over.
And even both times they said, well, it's not that bad because they're foregoing development.
Right.
But it kind of has been bad because if you've gotten any other minion besides Doomsayer, they probably would have just won the game on the spot.
Right.
So now Luminosity basically have to just set up a block pop and then hope that Antonitis isn't drawn. Because if Antonitis is drawn, they just lose. Well, effectively. Because they they'll have too much in it. So pop the block next turn. You know, if there's not I guess they won't necessarily. Yeah, maybe not. I thought the last card was Auctioneer, but it's Mulch. So now they can't make like a huge board of idols. I guess Alliance could technically like Frostbolt to 10-10 to stave off the pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
And even Roaring Torch and just hold on to the coin of the Volcanic Potion to get the two fireballs. But we'll see.
But then they'd be a little bit off because they're not picking face down.
Yeah.
Flame Strike. I mean, Flame Strike and Volcanic Potion keeps them alive. They know one swipe is still in the hands. So most of the guys 15.
They still hold on to the burn that they need. Their block won't get popped, most likely. Actually, no, it won't get beat. There's absolutely no combination of cards. Yeah.
And they kill Fandral, which is important too.
Yep.
Because Fandral keeps stacking the deck and summoning at the same time. Good lord, these Jades are getting high. What's the highest you've ever seen Jade go for a competitive game, TJ?
2020.
Dang.
Let's go and listen to Luminosity and see how they're going to play out these last couple turns.
We set up lethal either way. We have infinite mana for the rest of the game. So we're 100% sure. Like, I can't really think of much they would do that... Yeah, you guys are right. Yeah.
Babbling Book. Fireball.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
swiping.
They have swipes, so Frostbolt Forbidden Flame is not good enough.
Oh. And we still, I mean, Fire Lance is the only out next turn.
But we set up so Archmage is an out as well.
Yeah, we
If
can
we
just
Frostbolt Roaring Torch's base, we can also go Thanos Ping now.
We just Roaring
can we?
Torch. Is Roaring Torch actually? How do we set up for?
Yeah. We Roaring Torch, Frostbolt, Ping.
Yeah, Roaring for yeah.
In that way, we can draw Archmage Antonidas.
So Archmage, Portal, and Blood Mage into Fire Lance is also lethal.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, now we need to set it up for sure. Because of Pyroblast, right? What's going on? Like,
I'm almost out of.
so all they have is a random card. We're just gonna make everything because MC Tech doesn't matter. We're gonna kill the 1/1.
With
We're gonna put
our
them
10.
with our 10-4, right?
Or
oh, we're definitely Behemoth goes face.
Yes.
Oh, we idle
For a
for
minion
12,
twice.
12. We idle for a 13, 13. We hero power. One of these goes in. Which one? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Shouldn't matter. I choose you.
Either he booked us or he didn't.
Well, they can always rip Pyro.
Rip.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Holy shit! Holy shit, we won!
It really didn't feel like a win when he booked, right?
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Yo, why did they Frostbolt us? They had Ice Lance in their deck.
They didn't.
Were we out of range of Ice Lance?
No, we were at 5.
No, I don't think they had Ice Lance in their deck.
No, so if they draw the Ice
It makes me
Lance...
think they had Ice.
Well, Luminosity seemed to be pretty hype over the ending of that one. Chalky, screeching, essentially, at the very end of that game.
Like a harpy. He was a Cabal courier.
The Shrieking Harpy.
Which is fitting for that game.
If he wins the World Championship, they should have to put a card in.
Yeah.
After called Shrieking Harpy.
Yeah. Well, that was a pretty insane game, to say the least.
That was a nice back and forth game. Really well done there by Alliance to play their outs. As you can see, they were standing up in case they got Fire Lance Portal or another opportunity for Antonidas to stall, or maybe if they got a draw into the Fire Lance Portal. They were considering everything. But now the end of the series is definitely within sight here. We're going to game number 10 here, going to distance.
Yeah, this has been probably one of the longest series that we've had on the Trinity Series.
Yeah.
This one has already been going on for more than 3 hours.
Yep.
Which is pretty intense for a Trinity Series matchup, considering it's maximum 11 games. How long has it been since you've played 11 games of Hearthstone in more than 3 hours?
Well, let's see, 11, so 3 hours is 180 minutes. I mean, each game taking about 15 minutes or so isn't out of the question.
That's true. You play a slower deck.
I've played Control Warrior, and I've played like 3 Control Warrior mirrors in a row before, where it's it's really slow. Sometimes when you play Control Warrior mirrors, you just kind of assume you hear power pass for a while and do stuff, but it took a long time to, people are roping and stuff.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That took an hour.
All right, well, here we go. Potential match point here for Luminosity with the Druid versus the Warlock. We'll see if Alliance can get it done. They won all 6 of their games with Warlock in their victory last week. See if they can match that success again, because they're going to have to win 2 in a row in order to take the match for themselves.
Yeah, so the way Druid gets on the board is very similar as before, and the whole idea is that Jade pretty much counters that Reno style. Unless Reno has the power of overwhelming combination so that they can burst the Druid at a certain point. It keeps them honest so that Druid can't just stall for a long time. And then Reno's pretty good at removing a lot of those taunt minions, unless Druid has some way to get additional taunts. Yesterday we saw some kind of impromptu Raven Idol Mark of the Wild on a Jade, which created a huge taunt. But outside of that, if you can just get past the Druid taunts, you're not going to extend too much of their life, and you can burn them down with a huge 3-4 card combo.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, Alliance has a decent opening. They have a lot of threats, which is actually a pretty important aspect of this matchup, because if you place a threat and it's unanswered...
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow indeed. They can Wild Growth into Jade Blossom into Jade Behemoth, which is brutal.
Yeah. So, you know, the Wild Growth here is pretty massive, not necessarily just for next turn, but the following turns. And looks like Alliance already a little bit on tilt. Powder with the head roll, knowing that that's not what he wants to see, but he's going to be even more unhappy when he sees the next turn.
Yeah, 3 mana ahead of your opponent. Well, I guess 2 mana ahead, depending on which side of the turn you look at. And they pick up a Mulch!
Yeah, the Mulch is also big for the Mountain Giant. Yeah, it looks like Luminosity is just kind of letting it settle. You know, they're not their turns are fairly obvious, but you can just tell by how much they're happy and smiling. And these guys pretend like they don't enjoy playing Hearthstone.
Yeah, they're letting it marinate a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
This is a little bit different kind of Hearthstone. You get to play decks that you can't get away with in a lot of tournaments or on ladder. You know, you're playing with hopefully people that you enjoy playing with. You know, it seems like Luminosity get along very well.
Yeah, I'd say. I think the play here from Alliance is very sharp. You just want to clear the board for Mountain Giant as best as you can. Your opponent's clearly ramping to a turn 6 or something. Just ramp into it for a big play.
Mm-hmm.
And to stall them, you just want to play Doomsayer. Luminosity doesn't have a powerful way to respond. They could draw a card. They could spend Feral Rage to try to get the armor ahead of time, which is pretty ill-advised. They could also mulch, which is just there's bigger fish to fry. So it looks like it's pretty much a pass here for Druid outside of drawing a card if they want to.
Yeah, and I feel like they're not comfortable with just completely passing over a turn. So they are going to pick up a Brand, actually, which could be coupled with Jade Behemoth in a little bit. But let's go listen to Alliance and see how they feel about these coming turns.
We don't have any more ramp because they probably would have played it right.
Probably.
Ready.
Let's spook them here.
Spook them with
Yeah, we don't need the value off Brand, do we? I think we just tempo it.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
I want to make them respond to it, basically.
Yeah.
A big deal.
Spook them a little bit.
They've got the nut high and the nut low on their revives right now.
Nice.
I don't know. Doomsday was pretty good.
50-50.
Whatever. If they get Revive the Giant, we just spawn. Start spawning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the revive's obviously a big risk for them. It's probably not even like a great play.
Well, no.
Yes, I think you're killing that.
Yeah. Do we like Coin Imp King Boss? I like Coin Imp King Boss.
What does it do compared to a Wolf?
I mean, it sets up a better guy that trades into his Jades better.
It actually does set up. It actually does set up a better Wolf because their next Jade is a 3/3.
I mean, all our stuff is 6 mana anyways that we're gonna play next turn. Like it's Emperor, Hyphen if he does like Rag. We can go Wolf Refreshment if he goes like Jade stuff.
I do like the Coin Imp Gambos.
Okay,
it sets up for the next Jade Golem.
The next Jade is 2/2, so yeah. It makes sense to play.
Oh yeah.
So, it makes a lot of sense to play Imp King, I think.
Well, if they can get an Emperor down, then Alliance really isn't that far behind on the mana. So as long as they can keep control of the board, I feel like they're in a pretty good spot. I mean, they have lots of stuff to play every turn, which is something that doesn't always have the luxury of being able to do. So it's going to be up to Luminosity to see if they can pressure enough to try and shake Alliance off of this path.
I like what they were saying. Just spook them.
Spook them. Frozen is a big fan of the spook.
Boil them, mash them, spook them in a stew.
I think that's how the song goes.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Acidic Swamp Ooze picked up.
Yeah, I think I just might drop Emperor in this position, or maybe tap in Refreshment Bender. Both are pretty viable options in this case. I actually think the Emperor hand is very good discount, considering that you have some pretty meh cards like Ooze and Direwolf Alpha.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have things like Siphon Soul be cheaper, so you can squeeze in with a little bit earlier drops. And Twisting Nether for 7 ain't bad either.
Yeah.
The only thing is just that Emperor gets answered easier, and this is kind of indicative that you're not playing a combo style Reno Warlock. For us, at least. But obviously, Luminosity wouldn't know, but for us, we're like, okay, I guess they don't have combo.
They didn't play the combo last week, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you know, they feel comfortable on that style. And combo is starting to become less and less popular. As people realize that combo does very poorly against some of the faster decks. This is actually a really good Azure deck swipe turn.
Right. Just being able to take down pretty much everything, full board clear, and Druid's on the board.
Yeah. With Jade stuff in the hand to do. Innervate pickup next turn would make Luminosity be able to just go off.
Yeah, and I think Alliance would have loved to discount at least Jiraxis in that. Hard to say, though. Don't blame him for playing an Emperor. Let's tune in with Alliance to see how they're handling the situation, because it's looking tough.
Yeah, tap.
That's pretty good. Do we coil?
Yeah.
Do we ever save it for like maybe a AoE coil next turn? I don't think so. I think we just do it.
Well, the reason to save it would be to go like Vendor plus to be able to play Vendor this turn, but yeah, you can actually do it either way. Yeah, just Mortal Coil.
Actually, not bad. I mean, we can always do. We're just gonna play Vendor here.
Vendors.
Yeah.
Do we play this?
Yeah.
I guess, right? Why not? Why not?
Go.
You start with the Innervate. We're not shuffling, we're spawning minions.
We still don't shuffle yet, right?
I think we shuffle.
I think we're shuffling once, we should start with shuffle.
Shuffle first?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, do that.
You did good. I'm proud of you, Jackie.
We got 50 seconds with 3 mana. So what do we think about hero power, trade, idol?
We just start by spawning a dude with Jade Idol, right?
Should do that first. Oh,
Do that.
Do that.
Did real good, Jackie.
Do we spawn another one just to cycle? We do, right?
Yeah.
Hero power and clear.
I think you Feral Ridge for attack. Okay.
No.
I think so.
Do we do another one?
Is that the last one?
We got one more in our deck.
Yeah, we do it.
You want to spawn one more?
Yes. It makes our next Jades huge.
Yeah.
And we just get the
Unless
card
you-
back anyways.
The cycle is really good.
Right.
We've got one left in our deck.
And we still have the same amount of card draw left before we started this turn, right? Left in the deck.
Yeah. We still have everything left in our deck.
So everything we just made our next Jades ultra strong.
Yeah.
So many possibilities.
What a turn.
Whoa! That was insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, dude. Nuts. Twisted Nether, Direwolf Alpha. Tough combo to come back from, but I'm sure Luminosity won't be crying over their 6/6 and 7/7 Jades coming right up. Twisted Nether being used, the strongest AoE clear that Reno Lock has to offer, and Luminosity is in a pretty dominant position just to close it out. They're trying to make sure to play around every possibility. If they play too many Jades, I guess they risk opening themselves up to mind control tech. Perhaps that makes them reconsider maybe staggering their threats instead.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Go with Jade Blossom over Jade Spirit. Definitely like the consideration here from Luminosity. Still need to force out removal, but not risk putting themselves in a rough position. And you could tell just by like the look on Powder's face during that whole turn from Luminosity last turn that he was, you know, quite tilted.
Yeah, it's just not really enjoyable to see your opponent get the exact good outcome.
He needed exactly that card.
If any person's a fan of Miracle Rogue, then you just felt like, you know, you were in heaven during that time because they got an auctioneer to help get you more draws and more draws and draw. Except the thing is, Miracle Rogue, you eventually run out of draw. Hypothetically, Jade Druid will never run out of draws, assuming you play it with that in mind. Sometimes you have to use up all your Jade Idols to get tempo onto the board, and you have nothing else left in your deck.
Yeah, now one thing Luminosity do need to make sure they space out their threats, because if their board gets removed somehow, whether it be, you know, a big Shadow Flame turn or like, you know, some spot removal with like Siphon Soul Blast Crystal Potion, you do need to make sure that you have multiple Jades to follow up so you don't get into that position. But let's go listen to Luminosity, see what they're planning on doing as we get towards what could be the end of this game.
One reduced card now. Ooh. It's pretty good. We don't want to play it now though because of Sylve.
If we don't trade the 6/6, still Shadow Flame doesn't really hurt us that much.
Yeah. So we could just go like swipe, hero power, face, spirit.
Or we could go 3/6 into the Direwolf, Aya, and Spirit. That having a lot of minions on board actually plays around MC Tech.
Yeah, but still Shadow Flame's the issue.
It's not good. It's not good because we have a 6/6, a 7/7.
What about?
And if he still Shadow Flames, we still have those, right?
Like, is there a huge problem behind swipe, hero power, Jade Spirit? Like, the worst case is he MC Tech's an 8/8 from us, right? That's it.
But if we have a lot of minions, then he can't even MC Tech. I think developing both is better.
Okay.
Yeah, I like making a trade onto the wolf. Like, still Shadow Flame is not very good on this board.
Yeah.
Even if we go with this deal, we're dead, right? We're super dead. We go MC Tech, steal 9/9. Sylvanas, or we're dead.
So many possibilities.
8, 10, 13, 19.
It's lethal if you steal the 9/9.
Yeah, it's lethal.
We're just dead always.
We can do that plus Reno, I guess.
Tap first.
Yeah.
So many possibilities.
Bran maybe get the 8/8 and the 9/9.
Well,
are we dead if we get the 8 and the 9/9?
It's 11 plus 5. I mean, we're dead to everything. So
no, but I think we have to. They used one swipe.
I also think
one swipe, 2 Feral Rage. Yeah, we're probably dead, but it's the we have to take it.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
He's dead.
3 lethal? 3 lethal?
Yeah, we have lethal.
It's 16, yep. Sweet.
They stole like almost the best ones, right?
Yeah. Feels good, man.
Good job, Jockey. Carry. 2-0.
Good job. Good job, team.
Good job, guys.
That one was a lot less stressful.
So talk to me about why you don't like Feral Rage on the turn.
Wow, crucial win for Luminosity.
Yeah, that was pretty big, but almost to be expected. I think Jade Druid, we were hinting at the entire time. If they were not able to burst through with those final decks, then Luminosity were just cleaning things up with Jade Druid. What a diverse series we had. Everything back and forth. I feel pretty satisfied, TJ. If the next game had to be canceled, I wouldn't be too disappointed because I feel like we've seen every class already today, pretty much.
Yeah, I would rate Luminosity versus Alliance probably like a 4.6 on Yelp.
Out of 5 stars.
Out of 5 stars.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were going to rate it out of 10. I'm like, that's pretty bad.
No, their service was excellent over the course of the last 4 hours.
Yeah.
They definitely showed some perseverance, which I definitely appreciate when I'm looking for Hearthstone matches to watch. But overall, I think that Luminosity also showed off some cool stuff today. You know, they still got it with Temple Mage, at least for one game, which got them off to the great start that they needed. And they brought out Hunter, and it took a win for him.
Yeah, you know, the Hunter able to get a win was pretty useful for what it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you that not every strategy that's been played by a team has been completely figured out yet. People are still fine-tuning them and will continue to do so, especially when the patches come and especially when the new rotation comes in. I can't wait to see how more strategies will evolve in the future with more team leagues that hopefully adopt situations and formats like this.
Yeah. All right, well, we do have an interview with one of the players from the winning team. It's Chalky. Hey, Chalky, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Hey, Chalk. So first off, you guys have now joined the club of teams that have brought Hunter to the Trinity Series. What made you guys decide to go with that choice, and did you think it was a success?
I don't want to get too deep into our strategy because there's still 2 weeks left to play, but we did some testing. We kind of thought about Alliance's strategy, what they've done in the past. We sort of started to reevaluate ours. We kind of came into this. After we were 2-0, we sort of had a mentality where it's like, okay, well, it's not really broken. We don't need to really fix anything. And then we lost 2 weeks in a row, so we definitely had more to think about. And it just seemed like a good choice. It seemed a little stronger than Priest with what we needed to counter.
Yeah, I mean, it got you guys the win today that you needed. Talking about a little bit about the Reno versus Druid game that you guys played. It was one of the most intense games that I've ever seen. Do you have more fun with crazy games like that, or just jamming Shaman on ladder?
That was the most stressful competitive game I think I've ever played. It didn't help that I had like 2 people with me. Like, it did help in terms of playing the game, but like if I was playing that game at a tournament alone, I'd probably just be like stone faced the whole time. But like, I don't know, when you're with friends playing, it's kind of like we all couldn't believe it. And it was like insane, man. So many like randomly generated insane cards, but then they got the Doomsayers off the potions. And I wouldn't say I like those games. Like, it's definitely memorable, right? But like, wow, the amount of randomness in that game was insane.
That's Hearthstone. What do you think of Frozen's strategy? We've heard him talk about it a lot now, to spook him.
I mean, spooking them has some value. Like, there's a lot of teams will like talk about how fast to play things. Like, how fast do you take your discover choice? Like, when you get really bad stuff, do you try to spook them by acting really confident and playing fast? But in that case, like, usually it's just your play anyway, right? Like, so Frozen's just trying to find stuff to say.
Yeah, Frozen, the expert of spooking them, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Final question for you. You guys are now joining the 5 teams that are 3-2 in the standings. What team do you think has the most potential to challenge you guys as we move forward in the season?
Well, we're actually facing the 2 worst teams in the league in our next 2 weeks. So our strength of schedule has been the strongest out of everyone so far. We're currently 2nd in tiebreaker score. So honestly, I feel like we actually have a really, really good chance to just be straight up like first place. And if not that, I really feel good about our chances to be top 4 to move through. So I think objectively, we kind of have the easiest schedule left. Both of the teams aren't going to be like as motivated to succeed because one of them is straight up going to be non-viable for the playoffs, and then the other one will have to go 2-0. But yeah, and like G2 and Complexity, who are like looking like the early favorites to be in first, they play each other next week. So one of those teams is going to be 3-3 and at risk of just being out of the league in week 7. So I feel really good about our spot after this week.
All right, well, we'll see. You guys are definitely the most fun team to watch, I'd say, out of the teams left. So we look forward to seeing you guys play next week, and good luck in your matches.
Thanks.
Well,
always fun.
Always fun. Always fun. Especially
seems like you have a lot of extra fun. talking to